You guys can't hear it, but the music's playing right now.
All right.
Wow, it's the first time I never know how to start this thing.
And you got rock and rolling?
Yeah. All right, so that lovely voice you heard right there was the guys from Cool Storage Show. So welcome to. Oh man, I'm starting this so awful.
It happens to us every time we record.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna try that again.
There's no take twos.
No take twos?
No take twos.
All right, so welcome.
Oh, Jesus.
So because we can't see anything, it's all good. We can just chat, get right into it.
Oh, that's why. What's up? All right. The video will have this, but I'm gonna restart the audio because.
Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, we are hearing ourselves back. I always forget that the preview video is playing.
See, I haven't messed with any of that because I know we talked about trying it, but I don't even know what to do with any of that YouTube stuff yet.
Man, this is weird. I don't know how to start this thing. So I'll do the usual. Welcome to the Geep and Gam show. That's Geep. I'm Gam. And we got a very special show for you guys today. We are here. You can see it on the video. You can see the little giraffe. If you know what that giraffe means, that means we're here with the guys from Cool Story Show.
Hey, guys.
We got Aaron Corbett. Hope I said that right. And
you totally got it right.
Nice. And David Meyer.
Oh, you got mine right too.
I learned that from the show, so
Nice.
I guess I don't know if that counts as cheating, but I'll take it.
No, I'll give you that one.
All right, thank you. So yeah, man, it's great to have you guys. It's I gotta say this is the first time ever I've talked to somebody in another country, let alone Canada. So it's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, I've never ever.
This is the first show that I'm a guest on ever. So.
Oh, nice,
Awesome.
man.
It's pretty cool. I missed work for you guys. I'm supposed to be at work right now. I bailed out on it.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's how much I wanted to be here with you.
No pressure.
We have been seriously pumped all day long just to get here and sit down and talk to you guys.
It was the longest day at work ever.
Oh,
It just
man.
time didn't move.
Wow, that means a lot, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Speechless. Man.
I want to start this off by asking you guys a question that I've had since I started listening to your show. Obviously, I assume Geep and Gam aren't your real names. I know one of yours, but how did you guys get these nicknames or aliases?
What? That's not your real names?
Unfortunately,
Oh shit!
not.
I totally thought it was.
Oh man, do you want to take this one over, or do you want me to do it?
We were in a band together in high school, and if we ever made any money, we'd always go out to eat. Even if we didn't, we'd always go out to eat. And we were sitting in a pizza restaurant, and I was staring at the wall, and there was just pictures of sheep and ram all over the place. And I was so clever. I was like, it's Geep and Gam. And then we started making little skits on YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck.
So that pretty much like became our aliases like throughout the end of high school, and then we would make skits, like almost like a sitcom, not sitcom, but like I guess where
Kind of like a real life Family Guy. Like
Yeah, just-
stupid, no point, never, like no story.
yeah. And then
Are they still on YouTube?
They are, but they are cleverly
to find.
Yeah, they're cleverly hidden, and if you could find them, there is one really easy way to find them, but I'm not going to tell you. But we'd love to hear it if anybody actually can find those old videos, because
Okay, our new mission is we're gonna find those and we're gonna talk about them on the next Cool Story show.
awesome.
We actually run one of our other show segments, Up All Night. I think we ended up talking about he's never going to listen to this. Places that we've hooked up at work, and when we released it on YouTube, we realized that there's people from work, maybe our
geez.
bosses, that listen to this. So I actually had to go in and hide it to prevent damage from being caused.
We just edited it kind of. It was like I was starting to talk about something about work, and Dave just like edited the audio so it scrambled my voice out, and I just was like, we can't talk about this right now. We're sorry. Back to the show, and then he scrambled it back together. It was pretty funny.
Oh,
and we've proceeded to continually talk about stuff that we've done at work that we shouldn't do, and then put it on the internet. I don't know what's wrong with us. We have not learned from our mistakes at all, though.
It just comes out, right? You never know. But
They haven't caught us yet, though.
I guess that's the one downside of you guys all working together is I'm sure you guys got a lot of stories, you know, from spending all day together, right?
Do you know what? Like, it's funny because like we work together and we're friends outside of work, and then we lock ourselves in a studio for like 4 hours every Monday and record. And sometimes I'm ready to murder all three of them, but I would murder them with love. But I would still almost want to murder them sometimes.
I can see that. We all got that in us, right?
Do you guys work in the same? I know you guys do woodwork. I believe that's correct. Do you guys work in the same shop?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
You guys do woodwork? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, we used to work together in a guitar factory, and we both ended up leaving there, and now it's just been separate. I work in a furniture shop, antique restoration.
Yeah.
And
I'm unfortunately no longer doing woodworking, but doing metal work now. So it's total polar opposite now. So.
Which one of you was driving that truck I saw the other day?
that would be me.
Yeah, I think it was amazing.
You didn't even stop by for a beer. I'm hurt.
Oh man, I almost want you to hijack that thing and drive it down here.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
I would steal a truck for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Speechless.
Yeah, but
So-
go ahead.
Go on. I was just going to ask you, what part of, because I know we were talking the other day about New York and stuff. What area do you guys live in, roughly? Do you live near Manhattan?
We actually do not live in New York at all. So.
Oh, this is awkward.
No, it's perfect because we're actually close to New York. We're based in Connecticut, so.
Oh, okay.
The reason I said that was if you guys ever come to New York, you know, we're like a 45-minute train ride down, so it's like maybe an hour.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
So for us, man, New York's real close. I mean, Vegas, on the other hand, that's a
What else you got going on in Connecticut? Like anything cool in Connecticut?
Lego factory.
yeah, the Lego factory.
Oh shit, a Lego factory. That's awesome.
I mean, we're not really known for being the greatest state in the United States, but
Yeah, we're known to be rich and snobby.
which everybody I've ever met is not that. So I don't. I mean, there are. Well, I take that back. There are some towns
Yeah.
that can get pretty bad, but nobody I grew up with, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
Did you guys survive that winter storm? I think I saw on Twitter that you guys were getting.
yeah, I was gonna bring that up as a topic of the show because it was a crazy week, man. It was what was it like Thursday night or Wednesday or what was it, Tuesday?
We got snow Friday night and we got snow Monday night.
Yeah.
How much snow did you guys get?
I mean, it varied throughout the state, but it was upwards to like 2-3 feet. So
Oh, so it's like a brisk Canadian morning almost.
that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, for you guys,
that's like short weather for us. We'd go out and frolic in the snow like little nymphs or something if it was only 3 feet.
Yeah, I always see that meme on the internet of like it's just like a snaked path through the road and it says meanwhile in Canada, and the snow's like higher than a house and it just shows a road that snakes through it. But no, yeah, so Monday I got out of work, and obviously when that sort of thing happens here, people just go bananas, like absolutely crazy. So I wasn't too worried about it because I had a half a tank of gas, but but the lady was like on me. She's like, you gotta fill up before the blizzard comes. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll stop on the way home and get some gas. So I stopped at one place down the street, and I pull up to the pump and I'm pumping, and it's just going like super slow. So I'm like, maybe because there was a line. There's like every pump was filled. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just all right. So it's going, and then it just like shuts off at like $3, and it's just like going at a cent at a time. Like I'm like, fuck this. So
Jeez.
I pull around, get in at another pump, and once again, same thing happens. And then like, when like something happens in public and everybody like perks up like prairie dogs, and they're like, oh, what's going on? So apparently,
does like American gas not work in cold weather or something?
well, here's the thing. Because everybody around here goes in such a panic, the gas station actually ran out of gas.
Oh,
So none, like I was trying premium, everything, it was gone. So I was like, fuck this. So I, just kind of like everybody else pulled out of there. People kept trying behind me, but I was like, so I went down the street and ended up filling up at like a gas station with like nobody there for the same price.
They ran out of gas and they just stayed open, and they just didn't say anything.
Yeah, people would go in, pay, and then like you could tell like
Did the guy just like go home and have a pizza pop or something and just?
Well, it's also like a convenience store, so like that was open, but you could see the people keep going back in to try to like get their money back because nothing was pumping. So I'm sure the people behind the counter were like, totally scurried, didn't know what to do. But yeah, they just straight up, dude. When it snows here, people like go crazy. Like we went grocery shopping on that like Saturday, like when we knew there was a blizzard possibly that week. Whole parking lot was full, could barely walk in there. All the like basic items were gone. It's like it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Like whoever died when they didn't have bread or milk. Like honestly.
The classic.
Yeah.
And eggs.
Well, that's
but bread and milk can keep you warm in the cold.
Yeah, but
What do you use the bread as blankets and lay down and to just cover yourself in bread?
Yeah, you just cover yourself in bread and just pour warm milk over your head.
And let it rot.
That's a Saskatchewan trick, but don't tell anybody.
Keep
That's funny because like my sister used to live in Texas for a while, and they had like a cold warning there one day, and I can't remember the exact temperature, but I think it was going down to like, I don't know, like 0 or 1 degrees Celsius or whatever, and they put like a cold warning sticker on her door saying like, don't go out of the house, try to stay indoors, keep your heat turned up. And it was she thought it was so funny because she grew up in like northern Alberta where the average temperature for like the summer is like 15 degrees maybe.
yeah.
Jeez. So she finally got to unpack her sweatshirts, you mean?
I think she said like the coldest day it got there, I think she didn't even put a jacket on the coldest day, and there were people walking around in like parkas and toques and stuff that live there, and that's really funny.
My senior year in Texas, it snowed an inch, and they closed everything. They shut down all the roads, all the buildings, canceled school, canceled work. Me and my dad were out doing donuts in like the street. We built a little snowman, and everyone's looking at us like we're crazy.
You know what I just realized?
What?
I'm talking to 3 Americans.
Oh, burn. I heard that show. You guys gave him so much shit.
You know what? I love you guys. I'm proud to call myself American if that's what you want to label me as. If I can be with these guys.
Dave, at least they're not from the South.
That's
Oh,
true.
no, luckily.
They've already got to step up on you.
No offense, Dave, but even I'm against the South, so.
I totally meant offense to him, guys. It's fine.
Yeah. Although, I mean, Texas, everything is bigger down there, so.
You know what's fun? Like, you know what's funny? Alberta is totally the Texas of Canada. We're like the cowboys who like everybody outside of Alberta thinks we have guns and we fucking drink moonshine and like drive our trucks through the forest and like Calgary is just a fucking gigantic farm full of cows, basically.
Yeah.
It's polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, Alberta's the shit though. So is Texas. I like Texas.
Yeah.
What about your favorite states? Like, have you guys? I know when I lived in America, I found a lot of Americans don't explore outside their own state. They kind of just stay inside. Have you guys been to all over America?
We're all hermits.
They're afraid to leave their border.
Well, that's what I found living in Missouri. At least, is a lot of people didn't venture outside Missouri.
That's because no one outside of Missouri likes anybody from Missouri,
Yeah,
so they all just stay there.
the Midwest is totally different from like New England or the South for sure.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, you can get through Connecticut within an hour and a half from border to border.
Yeah, it's there's not much here.
Yeah,
But,
Driving as fast as possible.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean we've obviously been pretty far.
Yeah. We went to school out in Arizona.
Yeah, we lived there for 6 months, and that was awesome. But furthest would probably for me would be Washington. A couple summers ago, I did a trip. We started in Seattle and drove all the way down to San Diego, so that was probably the farthest out west.
You know what's funny? I totally thought you meant the city, and I was thinking to myself, that's not very far.
Yeah,
And then I remembered there's a state called Washington.
Yeah. See,
Says
to
the only
us,
Canadian.
no, to us, we refer that to as DC. So for the cool kids.
I've never been to any of the states ever. I've never even flown over the states or anything. I've never went south of the Canadian border, unfortunately.
I'm trying to think of the nickname they had for you. Not well-traveled Aaron, but the opposite of that, I guess.
Least traveled, Aaron?
Least traveled Aaron, that's it. Yeah.
Least traveled, untraveled.
Yeah.
You got to go some places, man. Go see the world.
Yeah, why aren't you going on that cruise, man?
Because Dave invited Alex and not Aaron. That's why.
Oh, this is.
So, moving on.
Thanks for making that awkward, guys.
Yeah.
I'll take it
So,
next.
so yeah, I mean, going back to what you were saying, I think when we were in Arizona, we went, what was it? February or August to February.
Yeah. Yep.
So we kind of experienced winter out there, and it snowed a couple times, and I don't know. I feel like we were there in sweatshirts, and
Yeah.
you know, once your blood thins out for being there for so long, it's like
Yeah, because we got like the hottest of the summer and then cool down. So like we had that time to like sweat our balls off at like 110 every day at
Yeah.
school, and then
where we
switch-
worked outside for
Yeah.
the record.
Yeah, it was just a lean-to pretty much.
Yeah,
And then by the time we left in winter, we were wearing like 2 sweatshirts.
yeah, because it was still down in like 32 and
Yeah, I guess
Fahrenheit. For the
Today's
record.
guys, they're wearing t-shirts, but
Celsius -15, right?
no.
Something like that.
What's the coldest you've ever experienced?
Probably your warmest.
I believe minus 32 Celsius is the same as minus 32 Fahrenheit, and I think we've had it as cold as minus 40 to 50.
Oh, we've had minus like last winter was like minus 46 for like a week.
Yeah.
With snow.
Jesus.
That's like you walk outside and like your tears freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your jacket just turns to plastic.
Yeah. So obviously you guys have never been to Canada then.
No, that's some place I've always wanted to go, but
Can I just tell you, if you ever come to Canada, avoid Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, the Yukon.
Wait, hold on. Let me write this down.
And none of it. You go to BC. It's awesome. The people kind of suck, but
British Columbia.
more or less it's great. Southern Alberta, wicked. Northern Alberta, not that great. The East Coast, really awesome, especially the people. And Ontario, the southern part's okay, but avoid the rest of it because it's really boring. It's like Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and most of Ontario is like, it's like they just took North Dakota and stretched it out
Ugh.
over the middle part of our country. It's pretty boring landscape.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to go to Quebec.
No,
Avoid that.
unless you like the French, but they don't like.
But they're
us.
not French, Dave.
Yeah.
They just want to be. They want to be French, but they're not.
Do you guys speak French up there?
No.
No, I can say like a few things, but it's
Dude, I barely speak English. I mean,
You
So
speak English?
your main language has to be English, then,
English.
right? Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I maybe I'm playing dumb here, but I'm just getting the facts straight. So, because I don't know, because like you said, I feel like there's different parts where
I-
I've
I
heard
don't
people
know-
only speak French, and then
Yeah,
isn't
I don't
that
know.
Quebec?
I don't know a lot of Canadians that speak French and English, even though our whole country's bilingual. Like it's supposed to be French is our second language, but I can't think of off the top of my head right now. I can think of maybe just a handful of people that can speak French and not even fluently and English.
And I'm drinking a beer right now, and on the beer, one side is English, the other side is done in French, and that's on all our packaging on everything.
huh?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is that Unibrow?
What was that?
Unibrou.
Unibrow.
It's the only Canadian beer we get down here that's like other than
Oh,
Molson.
I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of that.
it's weird.
They
When
do
you're in
like
America,
Le Fin du Monde and some others.
Yeah, they have-
Ephraim and...
they have Canadian beer that we don't have. It's weird.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. That's like this is Canadian beer, but you try to find it up here, non-existent.
Well, if you
Man,
ever, if you ever
American
do
beer is
find
not that good though. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, I have to agree with
it.
Aaron.
Well, depends on what you're talking about.
I'm talking about good and bad beer.
Well, what's your
But I should say I really haven't had a ton of American beer, so MGD is really good.
what's your guys' beer of choice?
Well, let's be honest here. I've been like a beer geek for a long time, for like since I was like 19, and then got in the industry for a couple years as a brewer
Oh, no
not
way.
too long ago, and then so I'm
That's
like
awesome.
I don't all the stuff that you probably like can as fodder is that's that's that wasn't me, but so I don't know where to go from here, but
Well, let's just say you go out to a bar one night. Like, what do you usually pick on tap? Because I noticed last time I went down there, I found Shock Top on tap, which is one of my favorites. But usually, like Bud Light, what's another one? Miller. Like,
Yeah.
it all tastes terrible to me.
yeah, it pretty much is all the BMC products like Bud Miller Coors. But I mean, usually when I go to, I don't want to sound like that guy, but usually when I go to like a bar, I'm usually going there to like drink a style, like either an IPA or a stout or porter. It depends on, and mostly all American like craft stuff. So
Do you know, it's funny. I'm kind of a beer geek too. Like I try every kind of beer that I can possibly try whenever I have the chance to.
yeah,
And I gotta say that not a fan of anything hoppy.
yeah, I could bitter and
It just like
bitter and dry, right? Yeah.
I had this one bottle with a friend of mine one time called Blue Dragon, and it was the hoppiest beer I had ever had in my life. It was so bad that we were drinking the Blue Dragon, and then we were chasing it with another beer because the aftertaste of the hop was so fucking strong.
Jeez.
Was that you said that was an American, or was that a Canadian beer?
I don't know what it was. I don't know where it came from. All I know is we literally bought it because it had a big blue dragon on the label, and we're like, that looks sick.
Yeah.
So we got that, and we got some Innocent Guns,
Oh, nice.
and which is pretty good. Have you ever had the rum Innocent Guns?
Oh yeah, yeah. Those.
I
Are
didn't
good.
I didn't like that as much actually.
Well, I'm a big
like,
fan of like barrel aged and like the oak flavor, so I usually gravitate towards those. But like they do a lot of like stouts and like big porters, like anything above like 8%. They usually age it in like barrels or different kinds
Yeah.
of barrels, and I don't know. I kind of fell in love with those, but.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I have all this knowledge in the back of my head about beer, and I could do a whole nother podcast and go on for days, but I try not to.
We're down. Anytime you want to talk beer, we'll come back on. No problem.
Yeah, and if you guys do come to New York, I can run you through quite the array of flavors that'll blow your mind.
We're talking about it. We might come to this.
If I can convince Dave to not bother to go back to Vegas and go see New York, we'll go.
Should try and
Because I would go to Vegas, I guess, but I'd rather go somewhere else.
You know what? Let's screw Vegas. Let's just go to New York this year.
You say that now, Dave, but
No, I'm gonna drink on it right now.
that's just because you're talking to two Americans on a podcast.
Is that your code of honor? Drinking on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink on it right now.
Let's drink on it right now.
Shot.
We're having a shot at Jameson, by the way.
Oh,
Ready?
see?
This is okay for everyone listening. Dave cannot go back on this because he's having a shot at Jameson. We're going to New York, Dave.
Go to New York.
Okay,
Cheers it.
It's
cheers.
official.
All right. We're
Okay,
going.
you're all witnesses. It's gonna happen.
All right. Well, that works for us then. Because
Yeah.
New York, Las Vegas is that's quite a trip for us.
Yeah.
Okay, but if we come to New York, and then we come visit you guys, you have to prove to us why Connecticut's so fun.
Well,
Hey, we never said it was.
Yeah, I can prove that New York's fun, but I don't know about I mean Connecticut. There's not much here, man.
I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about Connecticut. What do you have? Do you have?
I don't even know where Connecticut is compared to New York. Is it to the west?
It is
East.
directly northeast.
East.
So I was completely wrong.
Yeah, we're like kind of wedged in its crack, if you will.
Oh no.
Because New York is kind of like that L shape almost, right? And we're kind of like somewhat tucked in there. So, anyways, yeah, we're famous for Legos and what else? See, I'm bad at this, man.
We're famous for Legos and Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
Vince McMahon.
yeah. The McMahon family is
Oh
lives
yeah.
here.
I got out of wrestling quite a while ago. Do you still like it? I know Andy does.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
No, I've never really been into wrestling. Actually, I was into wrestling when I was a kid, and I used to watch like Stone Cold and The Rock and all those guys,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched it in ages.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
the same exact boat as Aaron there.
It used to be way better when all those guys were a part of it, I think, and now it's just now they're just like grasping at straws. I think that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in forever. Years.
I honestly, I mean, not once you know it's fake. I mean, it's different when you're a kid because it has that like magic to it, you know, where everything seems like, you know, it's like, wow, these guys, you know, they're, you know, putting their life on the line to do all this cool stuff, you know, and who knows who's gonna win. The true tougher guy wins, you know, but like once you realize that they know what they're doing and
It's
who's
all
gonna
written.
win.
Well, when you're a kid, you're kind of like you're stupid, so you just believe everything.
It's the NASCAR of soap operas.
You know what I equate it to? It's like ballet almost. Like they put on a show and it takes skill, and
It does.
they have to be strong and they have to have, you know, it's not easy, but it's basically like ballet. It's totally fake. It's just a big like a play almost.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, there's
don't know.
definitely no doubt. I mean, the physical stuff they go through is
Yeah.
insane, you know.
Yeah.
But
Like, yeah, you can't fake like Mankind falling off that
yeah.
cage, whatever the hell it's called.
I remember that. Yeah.
the hell
that
in
was
the
cool.
cell,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, Mankind was awesome. Wasn't he the guy with the sock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sacco, yeah.
Fuck, that was awesome when he would like choke people out with that sock, and I was like
Yeah,
I
the
don't
dirty
know,
sock.
7 years old, and I didn't understand how messed up that was, but I thought it was still really funny.
Well, once you realize that he's pulling a dirty sock out of his crotch area that he's been, you know, sweating on the whole match, that's when it's like, whoa.
I also kind of feel like wrestling's lost like a lot of good legends. Like there hasn't been anyone. I think maybe Cena's the most recent one. but-
Oh, don't.
And Lesnar, yeah.
I barely know who Cena is. That's why he's not a legend.
Didn't Lesnar used to do UFC?
I don't know.
Well, he went from wrestling to UFC, and now he's back to wrestling because he couldn't swing it, I guess.
Yeah, he got
Oh.
knocked out
Yeah.
third match.
Dude, that's...
do you guys? Do you boys watch hockey?
He does
you-
more than me.
Yeah, well,
Because
even
you
then
know,
I
as
used to.
Canadians, that's all we do. Is we eat poutines covered in maple syrup and
While we
watch
play
hockey.
Yeah.
That's coming up later. Trust me.
Okay.
All right.
Poutines.
Oh yeah, the poutines. I got a good
You know what?
story.
I'm one of the few Canadians I know that can't stand poutines.
Are you crazy?
Do you know what's wrong?
Are you
Have you guys eaten a poutine? Either of you, gents?
All right, I guess we'll go into it.
Well,
I didn't know if you
Sorry.
wanted to still talk hockey or not, but
Well, let's talk hockey and then let's talk poutine.
all right. So if you want to go on, you're the hockey guy.
nah, like I said,
Bruins.
I haven't had time really, just lately.
I keep up on it thanks to Bill Burr.
Yeah, I hear about it because of Bill Burr, and I see check the stats online and stuff, but I never catch a game anymore
Yeah,
because I'm always trying to watch hockey and basketball, and more so basketball. But
yeah.
even then,
Funny you bring Bill Burr up. I actually just introduced Dave to Bill Burr like a couple weeks ago. He had never heard of him or seen him.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez. What a
was good times.
fantastic moment.
Yeah, he's the champ. I love Bill Burr.
Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome. But so are you guys Canadian fans, or you know?
Fuck no.
No, there's not a lot of Canadians that are Canadian fans in Canada, and that's
Canucks?
mainly because they're based out of Quebec.
Is
Yeah.
that the Canucks?
I
know
it's-
nothing
It's
about
the Maple
hockey.
Leafs.
I know nothing about hockey, so wasn't there a team called the Canucks? Or
Yeah, the Vancouver Canucks.
the big
Okay, so
C?
the Vancouver Canucks are way on the west coast in BC, and then in Alberta we have the Calgary Flames. Yeah. The gross Edmonton Oilers, who are also in Alberta.
Oh, the Oilers.
We've got nobody in Saskatchewan, nobody in Manitoba, nobody in
Winnipeg.
any of the. Oh, I'm wrong. We got the Winnipeg Jets. They're forgettable though.
Are they a new
We've
team?
got no one. They're pretty new. No one in the Northern Wasteland. We got Montreal in Quebec. We got the Sens. We got the Senators in Ottawa. Nobody on the East
Wow.
Coast.
I thought there was two
And
teams.
the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs, right?
We don't like to talk
Again,
about the Leafs.
they're
You just
barely
forget about 'em.
enough to.
Yeah.
Canadians feel really strongly about other Canadian teams more so than anything else, especially in Alberta, because we're the only province that have two hockey teams. Like in our two big cities, Calgary and Edmonton, we have the Oilers and the Flames, and it's like a rivalry that's been going on since the beginning of time, and it'll never end, I don't think, except that all the time Calgary has a better team than Edmonton, it seems,
all the time.
especially lately.
Unless it was that cup year, then that wasn't the time.
Let's not talk about that too.
All right.
Is it bad that the only way I know like hockey teams is from playing like Sega games back in the day?
That's awesome.
So if anything's changed since then,
Since
I don't know
19
anything. Like,
90.
bro,
Are you talking about the Wayne Gretzky games where when he took a slap shot, he'd light the ice up on fire?
I don't think so because
Because I played those, and those are awesome.
in the time I was playing, what was it? I used to be the Devils all the time, and Broder is probably the greatest goalie of all time.
He's still playing.
Is he?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
still is.
He plays for the Blues now.
I think now he is considered kind of the overall the greatest goalie of all time.
Could he really are you going to say Brodeur is the greatest goalie of all time, or is he the longest season veteran?
Okay,
of
tell
all
me
time?
one
Well,
person.
wait a minute.
Patrick Waugh.
Oh,
I'm going way back, so I have no idea, like I said, but
We're going to get into epic hockey fights right now.
no. Let's be civil, Dave.
All right, all right.
Let's-
Do you know what I do find interesting though is when I was in America, it's like baseball, football, college football, tennis, crocheting, and then like hockey is like the last sport to be played usually on TV or that you could find. Like it's just not a sport that's taken off, it seems.
no, it's I just don't think, unlike up north like you guys, we have more warmer places where you can't really, people don't get into hockey because they're playing. Down south is all college football, and
Well, they play it a lot here in New England because of the Bruins.
yeah,
They have just solely Comcast always play Celtics, Bruins, and Patriots. Just whatever's going on.
yeah.
But besides for that, nah, you never see a
Yeah.
hockey game at all.
If you're in New England like we are, you pretty much have to like the Patriots, Bruins, and
Yeah.
It's funny enough. I've told Dave Meyer that he's got to bring me down to America at some point, and I want to go to a bunch of college football games, and I want to go to a NASCAR race because
jeez.
those seem like that would be the most fun you could have. Like just the atmosphere, it seems like it's just ridiculously fun, and I want to go do it. And I love football, so I think I'd be right into college football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
football would be cool. I don't know about NASCAR. I don't know if
Do you guys do NASCAR? Have you ever been?
Nah, my dad used to be into it, but that's not really big up here, man. It's
Yeah,
I don't know.
It depends on where you're at.
Yeah, that's not me watching cars drive. I have a theory. I'm gonna throw this out there. I feel like if there's ever a gas problem, or there has been in the past, if they would just cut out pointless racing, driving around in circles, think about how much gas they would save, and that we could use on the streets.
Yeah.
Do you know? I have
saying.
a counter solution to that problem.
All right.
Is population control. And if we
Speaking
just
of
decide,
down south.
if we just got rid of like chunks of people everywhere on Earth, I think everything would get a lot better. We'd have more food. We would use less electricity, less gas. Everything would get better. Resources would become more plentiful. There's just too many people everywhere, and they're just taking up space. Not everybody's perfect. Not everybody needs to be around.
I agree 100%.
Oh, yes, thank you. Because a lot of people don't, weirdly enough, agree with that.
I just got a tweet actually from Rod from the listening party, who's actually listening to this, and he says Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey with a bunch of exclamation marks.
Oh yeah. See, whenever I think
thanks,
of
Rod.
games like
Thanks,
that, yeah, thanks, Rod. I always think of Blitz, like NFL Blitz, and there was another one.
NFL Blitz is like the best football game I've ever
For
played in my life.
N64, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
won't
my
play
god,
any
it
other
was
game.
so fun.
Oh,
Fuck Matt. Fuck Matt.
yeah, Madden's too
technical
hard,
and
man.
realistic. I can't do that.
I could
Blitz is the best.
I can't play Madden anymore because my friend Tony, we would play. He'd hike the ball, run all the way back to his like 1 yard line, throw like 100-yard pass into my end zone and get a touchdown. Like every time. It was the biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't know that was possible. Figure the game.
Apparently it is.
That's the same thing I always thought NBA Jams was like.
Yeah, that's the one.
I can't play regular basketball games because.
Boom, shakalaka.
Yeah.
No, NBA Jam made it way better.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Do you know why I don't like real sports games? Is because they're hard. Whereas you can play the fun sports games and just have fun.
Yeah, you can play as a wolf.
Yeah.
What do you do? You guys like baseball? Because I also recently a couple buddies of mine convinced me to start getting into baseball, and I actually enjoy it.
I can't do it.
Quite a bit.
I'm with Dave. Baseball makes me want to go outside and rake the leaves. Because it's 10 times more exciting than watching a baseball game.
I'd rather play than watch.
Yeah. Yeah, good wiffle ball game's pretty fun. But,
Yeah.
Do you know what the one cool thing I got going though is like there's a ton of American teams and there's a single
Lonely Canadian team.
the Jays, and I can get behind that team 100% no matter what in any competition. So that's kind of like a cool, you can get the fan thing going on for that. But I don't think if there was that one Canadian team, I don't think I'd get into baseball. Because I can back that one team.
Where do
See
they,
now,
Do you know?
where
well,
do
I
they
wonder.
play?
yeah, I wonder. Like, all right, now if you were to live in the States, say you lived in Boston, would you be a Red Sox fan?
Dude, I'd be wicked smart if I lived in Boston.
Well, I just think because like you are with hockey, whereas you don't like any Canadian teams because there's so many of them. But
No, I like Canadian teams. I don't like the Canadians because they're from Quebec. I don't like.
When you said that, I
don't-
thought you meant like Canadians in general. You don't like any of the Canadian teams. I didn't realize there was an actual team called the Canadians.
See, people from Canada would totally realize that distinction the instant I said it. They would know what I meant. They would know that I meant the Montreal Canadiens because that's a big thing. You either love them or hate them up here.
Do you know what I will say to touch back on the baseball thing is I will watch baseball over soccer any day of the week.
Ha! Soccer.
Who even cares about soccer?
It's probably one of the biggest sports in the world.
Well,
So a bunch of greasy Italians like to watch it. Like really, it doesn't matter.
What?
Hey, what you doing?
Hey, let's go watch some soccer. What are we doing?
It's a mate the ball.
Put some more grease in your hair before we go. Like, it's stupid. It's fun. It's just like, they kick a ball around. And why do they insist on calling it football? It's not football. It's fucking soccer. Football is football like you guys have in the States, where you throw the pigskin around, and it's almost like what we've got in the CFL. Soccer is where you kick a little white ball around. No one pays attention because it's stupid.
I'm sorry if all your Italian audience just tuned out, but I don't care. Fuck soccer.
Hey, I can assure you we're not big in Italy. That's for sure.
Dude, you know what's funny? You say that. We're kind of big in Peru. We have like 100 Peruvian listeners on our show, and we have no idea why. We just it makes no sense whatsoever. But like,
yeah, it's
the weirdest thing.
America's taking over. You guys are, but Canada's still first, then America, then China, then Peru, then like Taiwan or something, and then North Korea.
Huh.
Yeah, our listening base is like super sporadic.
Have you guys found that when you started podcasting, like where you're listened to all over the world? Like, does it blow your mind that somebody in say Korea is listening to you?
Yeah, because one of like our first couple shows, like we got a ton of downloads in like the United Kingdom and what was it? What am I? My last name. What am I?
Oh, and
Irish, like Ireland. There was like a bunch of
Ireland.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Like, how did they find this? You know? But
Did you just forget Ireland?
I couldn't put. I kept thinking Italy, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, that was because of the accents we were doing.
Yeah.
It threw you off. It wasn't your fault.
So I didn't know you guys have a Canadian Football League. You mentioned the CFL.
I was just going to ask. We have the CFL. Do you? If you don't even know about it?
No. Well, we do have like the World Series, so I mean,
okay,
I figured that
we have something. We have something
that accompanies everything, and
we've got something very strange in the CFL that you guys don't have, which is fourth downs.
Fourth downs. That's right. No, it's 3 downs. They have 4th down.
We have 4. No, we have no. Sorry,
we have 3.
This is how dumb I am.
Yeah, we have 4th down.
We have only 3 downs. You have 4 downs. That's what I was going to say. I have downs is what I actually mean.
And our field's big.
What's that syndrome?
Yeah, our field's bigger, or it's not. I could be wrong, considering how much I know. And yeah, we only have 3 downs.
That sucks, man. You got to do so much more work in so much less time.
Do you still have to go 10 yards or?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, I always back up.
So everybody punts after 2 tries.
Yeah, exactly. So literally, the first play usually is a run. If not, you try to get a throw and then you punt.
Man, you really got to
Wow,
try
that
hard.
sucks.
Yeah, but because of it, we actually get like a lot of action. Like we get a lot of like they have to go for bigger plays because they've got to get it farther faster. So I always try to back CFL for that reason alone, just because.
Yeah,
it makes the game a bit more fast-paced. If not a little less strategic, it makes it a little bit more fast-paced. So it's fun. It's fun to watch sometimes, compared to the American stuff.
Yeah.
Are you guys who are you going for the Super Bowl?
What the fuck is the Super Bowl?
You know what the Super Bowl is.
Isn't that the Stanley Cup?
Is that like a huge bowl that you put poutine in?
I could work with that.
I honestly probably won't be watching it. I'll be just hanging out, doing my own thing. I'm not much of a football guy.
Ravens. Ravens are gonna win.
Ravens? Yeah.
Yeah. Ravens are gonna win. Am I right?
I heard the Cavaliers might take it though.
You totally lost me. I don't know what we're talking about.
I'm going for Seattle.
But for the record though, I do want to say baseball games live are probably some, like, not too long ago I went to a like local, like we have like an intermediate league team, and I went to one of those games and I was straight up shitting my pants the entire game because I was sitting like right behind the home plate and like every other hit was coming straight for you. Like foul balls. Those are the scariest because there's no net because it's like an intermediate. So they're just.
Can I ask? Were you drinking?
No, I was freaking out. I couldn't handle it.
Really? I feel like to go watch a baseball game live. Every time I watch one on TV, I think the whole is just wasted.
Honestly,
and that's why they're enjoying it so much.
We went to a Yankees game this year to see Jeter before he left because the wife's really into him. So
Nice.
honestly, I don't know how people could get drunk there unless you're drinking before because like I got one beer and it was $12.
That's the same within the Boston Garden.
Yeah.
Beers are like 12, 13 bucks.
For like a 16-ounce cup.
Yeah.
It is insane, dude.
Yeah.
Like they
Just
just
like
like
Canadian prices.
for an ice cream, it's like $7 and
Yeah, for a
it's-
small popcorn,
That's disgusting.
it's
yeah.
like $7.
I don't know how,
Oh.
but they trap you in there and you're hungry or you're thirsty and you like a water's like $6. It's like,
Well, that's
come
if
on.
you're Scottish like me, then you just sit there and tough it out.
and suffer.
Thirsty, who cares?
I love that they trap you in there and then they'll just buy.
Oh yeah, it's just like the
movie.
movies, man. They get you in there just like the movies. They get you in there and you can't bring your own shit in. You have to buy theirs and it's overpriced, man.
Oh, you just they pause. I carry my own stuff in.
Or
Oh,
a
yeah.
girl with a purse.
I mean, everybody does now, but
What?
Or a merce.
Dave smuggles things into movie theaters with a purse.
Yes. Yes. That's,
Apparently,
bring your
I
mom with
learned
you?
something new about Dave today.
it's discrimination. They can't judge me. But I will get my Smarties in.
I would judge the fuck out
Cam,
of you.
you cannot turn down my feminism. Oh man. All right, so you got the story on Geep Gam. I want to know Diamond Dave. Where did that come from?
Ooh, this is a good story.
Okay.
There's two parts to the story.
And then I want to hear how Aaron Corbett came about.
Oh, okay. So Aaron Corbett, I was born like fucking
Didn't you-
24-ish years ago.
Didn't you slay a dragon, and that's how you got the?
And when I say born, I actually
was
meant I was
kidding.
hatched out of an egg. And this guy, he was like a scientist, found me. And I think he just decided on the name Aaron Corbett because his name was Aaron.
Oh yeah.
And
That's a good name.
Corbett, I think he just made up because he was drunk. And
I think he
here I
was
am.
eating a sorbet and he decided to switch up the words.
Or maybe
You know what I'm so
I can't
glad
pronounce
that
Corvette.
You guys didn't call me Corbet because so many people that I meet here think it's French and don't pronounce the T's and they call me Aaron Corbet and I want to punch them in the face thousands of times every
That
time they
sounds-
do it because
Honestly, that was my gut instinct.
I was gonna say that sounds
I
Canadian to me.
appreciate you guys pronouncing the T's. I thank you for it because
If
I
I
hate
didn't
that when
if
people
I didn't
say
hear the
Corbet.
right way on the show, I would have went with Corbet. Just saying.
I'm giving you guys all the credit. I'm not putting any back on us. Thank you for saying my name right.
All right, you got it.
So now I was hatched and discovered Diamond Dave. But the parts I know is that a very long time ago, I'm gonna say like 4 years, myself, Dave, Andy Spiteri, and Alex Gurnett have been friends forever. And I believe it was Andy who originally started calling Dave Diamond Dave.
But it didn't come to fruition until the bar
And-
that one night.
And we all kind of went
Till
we all
the
kind of
fart
went with it for a really long time.
Bar.
And then it kind of tapered off for like over a year. No one mentioned Diamond Dave ever.
I was gonna say, did he fart so hard that he crushed a piece of sand into a diamond?
Or it was such a hard fart, you just
Just searching for
Ladies,
diamonds.
fart.
It was under a
Diamonds.
lot of pressure.
Ladies.
All right, I'm sorry. Go on.
So I got to apologize to Denise from the listening party because they were hoping they'd get the scoop on this on Saturday. But sorry,
Oh,
guys,
man.
this is going to get down.
Do you want me to block it out?
Oh no, I'm telling the story.
No, it's all for you guys.
Yeah,
All right, thank
you guys are my favorites.
What's
Sorry,
her
guys,
name?
but- So we were at the bar one night, and I don't know about you guys, but when I go to the bar, I'm not a big fan of just going up to random girls and trying to pick them up. It's just not my thing.
No, that's weird.
I'd rather take a girl out and have a cup of coffee and talk. But
Yeah.
Andy likes the
Oh, you mean a gentleman?
yeah exactly.
You're not just
Yeah,
gonna hey,
Dave is
wanna fuck.
Dave is the gentleman of our group, and I would say me and Andy are the lousy degenerates because I'm a huge fan of getting shot down and getting way too drunk.
You didn't get shot down that night, but I'll add that to the story.
Oh, wait, you want to tell them that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to hear the
So
full
we're-
scoop here. I want to hear.
We're at the bar, and there's two gorgeous girls just down, and Andy turns to me, he's like, Dave, let's be bold. I was like, "Meh, I'm not really feeling it." He's like, "Okay, I'll be right back." So he goes up to them, and I'm telling behind him, like literally, like fuck. So he goes up to them and says, "Hey guys, have you heard of my friend Diamond Dave?" And they say, "Oh no, why is he called Diamond Dave?" And then Andy says with a smile on his face, "Because there's nothing harder than a diamond."
Whoa.
So these girls,
That's a good one.
I'm literally like slapping, like face palming myself. These girls turn to me, they start bowing to me at the bar, like
it happened.
like literally like I'm an idol. They get to talking to us. I end up buying everybody drinks, and since there's two of them, my good friend Aaron here left with one, and Andy left with the other.
Can I just say the whole time that was happening,
That's
the whole time
What a
Dave
dick.
thing, and Andy was trying to hook everybody up. I was standing kind of behind them, just like on my phone on Facebook or something, and I wasn't paying attention, and I just happened to look up and make eye contact with one of the girls, and I was like, "You want to go sit down?" And she's like, "Okay," and like handed me a drink that Dave had bought, her and me, and we just took off, and Andy took another one, and Dave was just kind of left at the bar.
Yep.
So, did you point at your crotch when you said that?
And then after that, the name stuck, and everyone's spelled to that since.
That's pretty good.
It also kind of exemplifies that no matter what, Dave will always be just the nicest dude. Always. He's a total gent. Which annoys the hell out of me sometimes, but he's always a gentleman.
I mean,
I'm blushing right
those
now.
are always the best nicknames, like the absolutely ridiculous ones for the most modest people. Like when they call like 6'7", like 400-pound people like tiny. I love that. It's hilarious.
Slim.
That's
Oh,
just
it's
hurtful.
That's great, man. That's
So that's how Diamond Dave came to be, and I've just used it ever since.
oh yeah, that'd be a great radio name.
I know, right?
Like an internet.
Yeah, it
radio
would be.
name.
You could use that.
Diamond Dave here with the old '90s.
Alternative.
What the fuck are the old 90s?
Yeah, that's,
Senior Center.
Like, match with some classic Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears.
yeah.
It's gonna be the way it is in 20 years, man. I was gonna ask you too. I was listening to the podcast you did with Frank, and you were telling about how your singer left just before you went on stage. How did you get through that show without just not canceling?
We were supposed to be like kind of auditioning to be on a label, so we figured,
Yeah.
like, fuck it, whatever, we'll still play because
Yeah.
I would fill in for vocals on like 2 of the songs or something because in the past we had done it together, and Gam would take my bass and play bass for that song, so we still had vocals for 2 songs, but yeah, it was just lame.
Yeah,
and
there was
instrumental.
luckily when we played shows, there was like a lot of rotating. Like we all did different things, so we kind of used that to like he said, to kind of fill in. I mean, you should have been our main vocalist anyways from the beginning.
No,
Sorry,
that's a
but-
different story. But
But we needed a bassist, and we didn't have any more friends.
Aw.
Oh man.
I can't believe you did that to you guys though. That sucks, especially if you were on the bridge of signing.
I mean, it was a small label. It's not like
Yeah.
we were,
Well, pretty big
A small label is
is a step in the right direction.
better than no label.
That's true. Yeah, it would have got us in the studio and all that, but well,
yeah, what are you gonna do?
But you guys, did I hear right the last podcast? You guys still do studio work? Like, do you still play?
yeah, a little bit.
Gam does more than I do.
Yeah, I usually like that's kind of like all I do if I'm not working is I just sit down here and act like I make music, and just always working on like different projects or whatever. But I never finish any of them.
So
We should work on something. We'll send it back and forth.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You do it.
What
You
do you guys?
play guitar, right?
Dave's
Yeah.
a total musician. Actually had a little band, and they put a couple videos on YouTube that did pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I am the least musically inclined person ever, but I wanted to learn how to play piano because I think that's a badass instrument and it's suave and classy.
I'd
And I mentioned this to Dave, and then he bought me a keyboard for Christmas.
Oh,
so now
nice.
I'm putting myself to try to learn how to play it for this year, and I'm making some progress. It's slow going, but I've got some stuff down. I can play a pretty basic song now.
Nice, man.
Nice, yeah. It's a good instrument to learn.
Yeah, it's
because you could really branch out to anything from there.
Yeah, like yeah, I gotta learn like I don't even know how to read music, so I'm doing that while I'm learning how to play it. And I realize that I might be wrong as I say this, but I gotta learn 2 separate clefs. I gotta learn the treble and the bass clef. Yeah. Dave has gotten away all this time playing guitar with just the treble clef. So from my point of view, I already know more about music than Dave does, right?
But do you know how to rock, son? Do you know how to rock?
Can't rock like Diamond Dave.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've always been told, the piano is like the basis of like any instrument. You know, being a percussion instrument and having to learn sheet music, like you got both down. You know, pretty much go anywhere from there.
Yeah,
it's something I wish I was better at.
And once you get the hang of it too, it's actually kind of fun to sit down and write sheet music and then go back and play it.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is I want to learn how to actually write something of my own, even if it's just really simple, and play it eventually. That'd be really cool to learn how to do.
You'll get there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we took a music theory class in high school, and I forgot everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, in music theory, we wrote our own songs, and we had to play them on recorders, which kind of lame, but in piano or keyboard.
Yeah.
And
I remember the recorder from school. That was the lamest instrument ever.
I feel like the recorder is an instrument you play in middle school, and then it's never heard from again.
And
it's
what asshole came up with the name recorder?
Yeah.
Like the stupidest name they could have thought of for an instrument.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
You always see them at Goodwill down here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they collect dust pretty good. They're good closet instruments, if you will.
What are you guys currently rocking for guitars?
Always been an Ibanez guy. But I'm looking back like it's there.
Yeah, you're looking away from the microphone like, well, hey. From over here.
But yeah, Ibanez, or my main guy is a Jackson King V. That's like my baby, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just been playing more acoustic lately, guitar-wise, and it's one of the ones that I built. And other than that, I play an old crummy Samick.
Oh, yeah. The bass?
Samick bass.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't even remember the name of it. It's some Japanese company. Yeah, but it's just like a nice, lightweight, smaller bass. Yeah, so it's easy to just like lay down on the couch or something and just mess around with, you know.
Yeah. How about you?
You make beautiful stuff, by the way. Like checking out the instruments that you guys have made, especially that one where that old man was kind of carved into the top of it, was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. I have a Gretsch. I've been playing that quite a lot. I'm in love with that guitar.
Is that the double horned one?
Is that a solid body or a semi hollow?
It's a semi hollow.
Nice.
Yeah, those are nice.
I love it. I walked in and it was on for a pretty good price, and a couple months ago, and I just had to buy it because it was unreal. Just unreal sound for the Gretsch.
Yeah, and the necks on those are fucking awesome.
Oh yeah. And I dabble in acoustic too. I've kind of fallen out of music a bit. I had some inspiration the other day and wrote this crazy song.
Was it about me?
No, it was about
shit.
It was about Denise from the listening party, because she plays ukulele.
Oh, nice. I sense a crush here.
No,
you
she's
heard it
married
first,
to a good
folks.
guy named Rod.
Oh, right, gotcha.
But she's a wicked ukulele player and one of the only ones I know. And do you guys ever notice that when you write music, you just get a song in your head and you have to play it, like write it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I totally know what you're talking about, Dave.
Yeah. Well, I just
right there. I'm right there with you guys.
You're not alone.
Anytime I have that feeling, it lasts about 5 seconds, and then
then you get distracted going to get a piece of paper.
I usually can't.
Are you guys like me? Anytime you feel like you should be productive and do something, it lasts it's very short, and then you instantly start to just be lazy again.
100%.
That happens to me all the time. Like every day, I'm like, I should just get up and do something great right now, and then I just sit there and play my DS for the next 4 hours.
That's great.
It's fucking happens all the time.
So Dave, how about you guys? How about you? Or I know you said I think it was during one of the Twitter back and forths we had that you played in a lot of bands. I don't know if you've ever really gone in depth on that, and I don't know, Aaron, if you. I mean, I know you said you picked up the piano, but did you ever do any band work or like in high school or anything like that, or going back and forth, both of you, hitting you all at once?
Ready to go.
Yeah, I always aspire to be like a backup dancer for like a really,
All right, so moving on, Diamond Dave.
really attractive like boy band or something.
Yeah.
Just be one of those guys back in the rain.
So you mean
Fucking give it.
you've always wanted to be in
That was my
Slipknot?
biggest aspiration, though.
I don't know if you heard that, but no.
What was that?
I was just saying you. So you're saying you've always wanted to be in the band Slipknot? You want to be the guy in the back?
Who?
Slipknot?
Oh, I would do that.
Being the
I could
guy
put
in
a
the
mask
back,
on.
just playing the keg that has no
Yeah, the
importance at all.
Yes.
I'd put a giraffe mask on and I'd do yoga behind the band while they play.
You rock. That's
So
rock.
Dave,
That's my
how
friend.
about the bands you've been in? I want to hear about this.
I've been in a lot of bands, not bland. Started in Missouri, continued it through to Texas. You've been to a few of my shows.
I have been to a few of your shows. You're pretty good.
Yeah, I rock it.
You playing
I
country
wrote a-
music?
Sorry.
What style of music you playing? Like
I did some acoustic kind of folk stuff for a bit, and then I got a Luke, and me and some friends were doing an open mic, and we would literally go out and play just blues or rock and roll for 4 hours straight and take audience requests, and that's probably the most fun I've had playing music. And I think my greatest show memory was 2 times. One was when I had ladies' underwear thrown at me. That was pretty cool.
wow.
And
Now, did
another
you see
time,
that happen?
and
Did you see that happen? Like them come off and come at you? Or did they
no,
just
I
come
was
out of
rolling
nowhere?
with
It's
solo,
like,
and I felt something hit me, and I looked down, and it was a pair of pink panties.
They were mine. I threw them.
I always wonder that. Do people just take them off, or they just bring an extra pair and just like throw them at you?
I guess you
I
gotta
would,
smell them to find out.
if I
Ah,
would ever
Jesus.
love someone enough to throw panties at them, I would take my own off because
Yeah.
it means more.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
wouldn't want to touch them.
It's special.
It's true.
Anyways, what was the other one?
The other one was we were playing one night, and for whatever reason, some guy at the bar shouted "Twist and Shout." So we busted out "Twist and Shout," and the whole bar just erupted. You know, when like the whole place goes crazy and everyone's dancing, and they kind of storm the stage and everyone's singing. Basically, anytime I got crazy audience participation is the times when I love playing live, because that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the better question is, how the hell did you know how to play Twist and Shout? Who?
It's an easy 3-chord song.
Oh, all right. I was gonna
Yeah,
say, did
and-
you learn that ahead of time? Did you just bust it out or look
Just
up the
improvise,
chords?
yeah.
Well, we had been playing covers for a while, so we kind of knew, because there's tons of songs which are just 3-chord songs, right? That you can make up on the spot, but
Gotcha.
most people don't care. Like if you get the rhythms right and you know the words, they'll jump right in and sing along with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
I was always amazed by those like piano guys. Like
Yeah.
the only one I've ever seen was in Vegas, but like they just sit there all night. They'll play literally anything. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
They're all good.
Do you know what I love is like if I could learn to play any style of piano, well, I'd really love to play like the kind of like jazz, like bluesy piano, which is sort of slower and quieter, but I think it just sounds like really
Oh, yeah.
sweet.
I don't think anything's classier than a piano player. Just so smooth, ridiculous.
I'll have to. I know a band I listen to that does that really well. I'll have to send you the name of them, because if I try to say it, they're German. I don't know that I can't say it, but they're awesome and real slow jazz, like a lot of piano, a lot of like nice like slow saxophone in the background type thing. real calm.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. It's just it's kind of like relaxing and calming and.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say that's one of my guilty pleasures is the horn, any kind of
Oh,
like
yeah?
saxophone or like trumpet. Like it, I don't know about in Canada, but like it seems like within the past like 5 years, everyone's doing something with horn. Like Macklemore came out with his CD and he had horn on like almost every track. J-Lo had a couple horn tracks.
Oh yeah.
Jay-Z has horn on a bunch of his tracks. Kanye, it's like if you pay attention,
Yeah, they're
it's
everywhere
always
now.
like the catchiest songs have horn in the chorus.
I played saxophone for 8 years. I still have it.
Wow. Awesome.
I would love to get a.
Sax
Collab
is
on
pretty
that.
cool.
Plus, you can throw out puns everywhere. Like,
Dude,
hey,
any instrument that Lisa Simpson can play is a cool instrument.
Oh yeah. Bleeding Gums Murphy.
bleeding gums, Murphy.
Just going there. I'm just going there. So I got a wacky topic for you guys.
Oh,
Go crazy.
Jesus.
Let's
Do
go.
it.
And it comes with a story from earlier today. Or no, yesterday.
Love stories.
All right. So yesterday, like after the storm, we went into work because it was closed during the blizzard there, which probably doesn't happen up north. But so I roll in. Every morning is kind of like, and this will lead to another topic. Obviously, every morning is like, I wake up and the cats are just going like crazy, like
Doing cartwheels.
running around doing cartwheels. They're just. I try to tie my shoes. My shoes are always like disheveled when I go into work because like I can never tie them right because the cats attack the laces when I'm trying to tie them. So I'm usually a mess when I walk out of the house in the morning.
You should get one of those. Remember back when we were little, they had those like pigtail shoelaces, or they're just like
Oh, the really, really like
They're-
shoestring like potato bite things.
They'd like coil up.
yeah, they
right?
coiled, and you just pulled them tight, and they just like sprung back.
Oh
and,
no
like, held-
shit!
Yeah.
That sounds more
I never
exciting.
wore those. I saw. I make fun.
What's up?
I guess I don't want to bring them back anymore.
Oh, no, I wouldn't bring it back. They were easy though.
We missed like all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys broke up during that. I don't know what you said.
Oh, sorry. We were just making fun of each other.
Oh. All right.
It's nothing new.
So yeah, I would like put my pants on, and they all tack the pants, and same with my shirt and whatever. So I'm a mess walking out. So I walk out, drive to work, get out, and walking into work, I notice like when you do that, like two people in a hallway, awkward moment, like walking towards each other and you don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So walking around, going towards the front door, I kind of did that with like, I'm not gonna lie, one of the more attractive ladies at the place there. So so I kind of do that awkward, like try not to look at her the whole time thing, and then like.
You don't just stare at her.
Well,
as you walk? What are you doing?
Yeah, dude, not
Just-
looking at her is better than just gawking at her the whole time.
Straight eye contact.
Just-
though.
Or
Just
or
don't-
looking at her boobs.
Just
one of the
don't
two.
even smile though. Just like dead face.
Yeah. Head at like a
Drool a little bit.
30-degree angle, just staring at her tits the entire time. But so anyways, so I'm kind of walking, we kind of both turn at the same time, and I kind of walking behind her. So I go into work, time passes, and then later on, if you remember from previous episodes, if you're like where I work, there's like a long walkway to go anywhere. So
Whenever you talk about this, all I can think of is when you said there was like poop on the floor. So I always
There's always
I always
shit on
think
the
there's
floor.
poop on the floor.
But so yeah, so later on, still in the morning, once again, I had to go somewhere, and was walking, and once again a different female, another slightly attractive female, walk by her, try not to do the eye contact thing, kind of like see her, she's like smiling, whatever, wave, walk by.
Just making it awkward.
Pretty much, dude, I'm the most awkward person there is. And I realized that today when I went to a stop sign and I like stopped, started going stop, and the other person started doing that at the same time.
Oh, I hate you.
And then waited to the last second when they started going
And then
to
you
just
gunned it?
blow through. but So, anyways, I walk by this girl. She's like smiling, whatever. I say hi and walk back. And then when I get to my destination, I kind of like, you know.
How old are you?
So I walk all the way there and get back. And, you know, my pants are kind of loose. So I'm like, you know, I'll just normally, I kind of never grew up and I've had like the same like Abercrombie, like cloth belts that you like pull to make tighter. I've had those forever. So I'm like, start like fiddling with that. And I realize, my fly is like wide open.
Just singing.
Yeah, so immediately I'm like, fuck, is my dick out? Like, you know, when like your throat just drops and it's like,
I don't know if that's ever happened just because of my flies down.
well, I immediately like start thinking, I'm like, crap, I walked by her today. Did she see it this morning? And then I walked by this other chick and, you know, was the button open and something hanging out when I walked by because she was laughing. But so like I immediately started like, oh fuck, and then I immediately think like within the second I'm like, fucking cats, because I know the only reason that happened was because I was probably in a rush because they would attack my feet and whatever when I'm trying to get dressed.
So your cat totally screws you over that day.
100%.
I can't be the only one that thinks cats are assholes.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Total. I own two. And I love my cats, but like fuck, they're assholes. Like I just fuck.
Well, before we get into cats,
okay,
and we will get there.
There's a question I want to ask.
I'm looking at this great picture of your guys' cat. And I can't stop thinking about your cats now.
That's so adorable.
It's fantastic. I'll send you the couple memes I made with that picture. They're pretty good. But
all right.
So I want to know, like, have you ever been in that? Like, if you have any good like fly down stories, because it happens to everybody where you're in somewhere, you know, really good, and you're walking by all these people smiling like it's the greatest day, and then you look down and the freaking barn door's wide open.
Dude, that happened to me after Frank left last time.
Oh, really?
I must have gone and whizzed and forgot to, you know, zip up or whatever. So after I got home, I looked down, you know, to take a shower. I was like, God damn it. Was I sitting there that whole time talking to those guys with the fly down?
Okay, I got a story. It's not quite a fly down story, but like I had a job a couple years back, and it was my very first day. And first I had light purple colored boxers on this day. Very memorable, important part of the story. And I got ready and I went down to work. It was like a retail kind of place, and I met the guy who was training me, and I started working, and a couple or 2 or 3 hours had went by, and I talked to a few people, and they kind of give me strange looks or whatever, and I kept working, and finally I was in an aisle. I think I was just putting something away on the shelf, and there was this dude, this pretty butch-like big guy with a very pretty redhead, and she asked me for some help with something, and I didn't really know, and I was like, hold on, I'll just go ask somebody who knows. And this guy just sort of was like eyeing me up and down, and I came back with one of the other guys who worked there, and we got him his thing, and just as these two were about to walk away, the guy's like, dude, look, and he looked down at like my crotch, and like I guess my boxers, like when I zipped up, had somehow gotten stuck, sticking out. So like I zipped up, and the zipper, I don't know if this is possible, but it had somehow zipped around a portion of my light purple boxers, so they were sticking out of my pants. And
so you had a purple penis hanging out the whole day.
Yeah, and like my zipper was done up totally fine, and I don't know how it worked, but there was just this perfect flaccid piece of purple boxer hanging down out of my pants that I somehow didn't notice for like 6 hours, surrounded by other people.
Oh, man.
And he pointed this out, and then she fucking giggled, and they walked away. And the guy who I was working with just shook his head and walked away. And then I tried to, just because I was embarrassed and I was a younger dude, I was nervous, so I just tried to quickly like unzip and tried to get it fixed. So I unzipped like halfway down, and it got stuck on the boxers, and then I was stuck, like unzipped with this purple thing hanging out, and then like a couple more people walked in the aisle and looked at me, and I was like playing with my fly with this purple thing swinging around in the air, and at that point I just sort of stumbled away behind one of the walls, and I could not fix it, and I ended up just like ripping my boxers apart and getting my zipper up finally and continuing through the day, and that was pretty awful. And I wish I had picked any other color of boxers to wear that day, because it was the only pair of light purple boxers I owned. And luckily enough, I had them on.
You're lucky nobody thought it was an emergency situation and you lost circulation and there's just a purple cock hanging out. Like, somebody save this guy.
Everybody was too busy laughing and to be too worried about me.
Oh,
but yeah, it was pretty sweet. Good learning experience for Aaron, looking like an idiot.
Good job, buddy.
I always check whenever I do up my zipper. Now I take a double check. Look down, no boxer, good, and I go every time now because of that.
Oh man, that's a good one. How about you, David?
I don't, might possibly have two stories. I don't have any really memorable fly stories, but we work in retail, and part of the departments we work in have sporting goods items, like for hockey and whatever. So I'm approaching this gorgeous girl, and she stops me, and she kind of looks at me, looks down, and then looks back up, and she pulls out this jock, and she says, "Excuse me, do you think this would fit you?" And it's like an extra large jock. So I immediately like kind of stagger, and she's like, "Oh, well, I was just asking because your fly's open." And I just kind of walked away. I didn't know what to say. I was pretty red-faced at the time.
Yeah. Now, were you talking about like a jock strap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of a jog.
No,
Jock. Sorry,
Jock.
jock.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Guys, you're probably going to think I'm retarded,
Sorry.
but can someone explain to me what a jock strap is?
What?
I don't play sports. I've never played sports. I don't fucking know what a jock
It's
strap
a,
is. I hear it referenced endlessly. What's a jock strap?
It's a shield for your manhood.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought that was a cup.
It's a cup.
Well, it's
It's
what
the
the
same
cup
thing.
goes into.
Oh, okay. I know what a jock strap is then. I always know it as a cup though.
Preferably assless.
Do they sell them any other way?
No. I just love it.
Oh,
But so we have a couple questions here from Denise
Who's Denise?
on YouTube. One thing she said was that Dave makes awesome songs. So
Aw, we know Denise. Thanks, Denise.
so that's the one from Listening Party you were talking about? Or
yeah.
Oh, okay. And she was also wondering what was the weirdest thing we have ever bought at like a Walmart type store.
Bought or sold at a Walmart.
The weirdest thing I've ever bought at a big box retailer kind of place.
She said a Walmart or C Tire type store. I'm not sure what C Tire is.
Oh, C Tire is Canadian Tire, and that's where we work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the Canadian version of Walmart. It's nothing
Basically.
special.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Weirdest thing.
Weirdest thing you've ever bought or sold?
Sold? Well, we don't really sell anything too crazy. I mean, I sell guns.
See,
That's
that's a classic for back here. Well, I remember that when I was a kid, but now it's replaced by like fishing lures.
Yeah, they don't let you do that.
But before you could go in there and just buy a shotgun all willy nilly, and
Throw it
if
in
you had the
cans.
money, yeah.
Have you gone on any drunk adventures?
Dude,
before?
I got one that's not weird, but the situation that I had to buy was weird.
Giraffe. I'm gonna tell that one.
I was in a Walmart one time, and I totally shit my pants.
Yeah. If you're a fan of the
And,
show, you know that we look for these stories.
Yeah, I shit my pants right by the Lego section as I was
Now,
looking at some Star Wars Lego.
Let's throw out
Just-
age here so we can classify or clarify. How old were you at the time?
How old was I? Oh, I was like 9. I was like 20.
So you had to clean yourself up, is what I'm.
Okay, this is what I did. I shit my pants. So I instantly think, oh my god, what did I just do? And then I'm like, oh, obviously I've shit my pants. So at this point, I kind of not run or walk, but I sort of very carefully walk over to the clothes
waddle.
section.
It's a waddle at that point.
It was a very particular waddle I had to take over to the clothes section. I had some looks. That might have been because of the smell. I don't know. I grabbed a pair of pants. I went to the bathroom. Got in a stall. Took my pants off. Took my underwear off. Cleaned myself up. Put these new pants on, and then just left. I just walked out of the Walmart. I stole the pants. I'm sorry, Walmart.
Jesus.
And I feel worse. I feel worse about it because I left my shitty pants just in the stall, which I know some poor like underpaid like Filipino worker probably found and had to clean up. And there I am just strolling out of Walmart with a brand new pair of free pants. And
So what you're saying is it worked out in the end.
no, I felt really bad. On top of the fact that I shit my pants, I also had to like wreck someone's day. Yeah, I don't. It just happened. Sometimes it happens, you know.
I gotta say though, that's pretty good that you're in a place with like endless supplies.
That's a good.
Oh, no. I was literally I was thinking about it and I was like, what if I had been in a Toys R Us or something like that? And I shit my pants. Like this.
Gotta walk
that
out
would've
in
been the
baby
worst
clothes.
situation. I would have gotten some stuffed animals and like duct taped them onto my waist, or I don't know what I would have done, but
Tied hands together.
it was lucky that I was in Walmart.
Oh man,
That
that's
was
a good
classic.
Walmart
That was a
story
good-
right there.
Yeah. Judy.
Well, if you're gonna shit your pants, may as well be at Walmart. Whatever.
Yeah, you fit right in. I think I don't know if I've ever bought anything weird or I don't know, but I know we had some good times at the Arizona Walmart back in the day.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've ever bought anything weird, you know. But like, I've bought in weird combinations of things.
I'm gonna say the weirdest thing I've ever bought, and AKA the greatest thing I've ever bought, is I bought all my Schwarzenegger movie DVDs for like $3 from there. That's right, I have them all.
Wasn't that in Arizona?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
I got them all. Twins, you name it.
Oh, you got twins? Nice.
I got twins. I got what's the other one? Well, I bought the like 3-disc set that had like twins. The other one with DeVito.
Jingle All the Way?
No, that's the only one I don't have, and I want the Blu-ray
Oh,
of that though.
That's the best one.
I
That's
know,
one of
but
the
I
best
want-
Christmas movies ever. It's one of my favorite.
I held off for the Blu-ray because I'm like, I gotta get the good one.
I couldn't do it. I bought it on VHS, then I rebought it on DVD, broke my DVD, bought it on DVD again. Still have that DVD.
You're a great man. Great man.
Arnold Schwarzenegger the collection is awesome. You got Predator, you got Terminator, you got, I don't know, all of his other stuff.
Running
He
Man.
did some other stuff. Running Man was good. I remember Running
Yeah.
Man.
And what's that one they remade? Oh, Total Recall, of course.
Total Recall was great, except I saw it when I was, I don't know, I was like 9, and I didn't understand
Oh yeah,
it at all.
That's a big movie to take in for 9.
But I did know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it, and I thought it was cool because I knew he was the Terminator.
Yeah, yeah. Dave, what did you watched the Terminator for the first time? Did it hold up?
Dave literally just sprinted away from us to go take a piss. He'll be back in like 3 seconds, I think,
Gotcha.
or longer than that.
Man, now it's bugging me. What's the one where he's like pregnant?
That's no,
Isn't
isn't
that
that
Mr.
twins?
Mom?
No, is it Mr. Mom?
I thought it was.
No, twins is where they're
No.
brothers and they're wacky.
No. Is Arnold pregnant? Arnold's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And then the other dude is like the dad or whatever.
I thought it was Mr. Mom was that one.
Junior.
Oh.
It's Junior. Oh yeah, it's Junior.
And Kindergarten Cop, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I really like for Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think my favorite for him is like got to be Predator though.
Oh. Predator is, for the record, probably one of the greatest movies ever made. Just saying. And if you've ever watched the video, you can see I
completely agree with you. Completely agree with you.
It's amazing.
It's a fucking fantastic movie. What did you think of Predator 2 with Danny DeVito
Glover?
or whatever his name was?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, not Danny DeVito. I don't know why I said that.
That would be a whole different movie.
They should do Predator 3 with Danny DeVito.
I liked number 2 quite a bit. It was a cool setting, setting it in like New York and all that, but I don't know, man. It's just why mess up perfection, man, when you do it right the first time? You know? I mean, I did like quite a few of the AVP movies, but I don't know.
I didn't like any of the AVP movies. I thought they were really pretty dumb.
Well,
I don't think they paid enough homage to the Alien source material.
no.
And like, because I really love Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
And I think that EVP was a little bit more Predator biased, a little bit. Dave's returned to us now, by the way. Dave, they asked you a question while you were gone.
I'm sorry, what did I miss?
You saw the Terminator the other day for the first time.
I did. My boss went on a huge tear because when we're working, he'll randomly throw out movies, and I'll say if I've seen them or not. In most cases, I haven't. And one of them was the Terminator. And I actually got through Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 the other day.
Oh my goodness. Those are like.
I'm still waiting for that movie list, buddy.
What's that?
I said I'm still waiting for that movie list.
Oh yeah, you're like the 8th person I gotta make a list for. So slowly but surely, I will get it to you in the day I do. It'll be like 50 long, trust me.
All right.
But let's just talk about T2 because I mean we don't have to spend too much time on this, but it is probably once again one of the greatest movies ever made, especially in the time period.
Oh yeah, and you know what's crazy too is watching those movies. When I saw Terminator 1, they do that scene where he pulls his eye out in the mirror.
Yeah.
When they cut back to him being a robot, it's like this pastel gray mold of Arnold that does not look real at all. but back in the day, that was what CGI and effects were. It was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah, the lightning scene where he appears in front of the bar.
Yeah,
like. That was huge.
And that's my favorite effect from Terminator, especially too, is when they come out of those time travel orbs, you can see like the effects of the heat from the sphere that was created.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Andy's got no clothes on, and then you can see how ripped he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
touch on.
Yeah.
If y'all are interested.
100%.
So a member of the Cool Story Show.
Andy Spiteri.
I wasn't going to say, but I guess you already said it. Okay, it's live.
No, it's Andy Spiteri. Sorry, dude. We're telling this story, so.
Yeah, you already put it on up all night. We're saying it. We were drinking one night. I think, had you both left?
I'll tell this story because
Yeah.
I was kind of there. So me and my friend Andy from the Cool Story Show, we were out at our buddy's house having a housewarming party. We get belligerently drunk. It's late at night, and I just finally say we don't live very far. It's basically, think about it. You go down one long street for about 6 blocks. You take a right at an intersection. Walk another couple blocks, and you're at our apartment building. It's very simple. Even the drunkest person can get one turn. So I say I'm leaving. It's late. I'm drunk. I don't want to call a cab. I'm just going to walk it. It's not that bad. It's summertime, so it's not like it's cold out or anything. And he says he's coming with me. So the two of us schmucks stumble down the road, like just drunk beyond belief. And we're chatting about something. And we get to this intersection, waiting for the light to go green. We're talking. He asks me a question. I start to answer it. And I start walking across the intersection. And I'm talking to myself, and I finally turn and look over my shoulder, and Andy has just kept walking straight down this road. He hasn't made the right-hand turn to get to our apartment building. And I yell, I was like, I just kind of scream at him something, like, what are you doing? And he just kind of waves at me and just keeps going on his own. And I text him. Because I'm all worried that he's going to get, like, raped or something in California.
Why didn't you just go get him?
Okay, let me explain something.
I mean, I know you were belligerent, but
I texted him and I said, "Are you coming back to the building?" And the first text I got was, it was just numbers and letters. It made no sense. And then I got like a half-second pocket dial from him. So at this point, I had just stopped and was sort of kind of turning around to walk back. And then I got a very clear text saying like, yeah, I'm on my way back home. I just missed the turn. Don't worry. So I was like,
that's
okay, he's a big boy. I don't gotta wait for him. I want to go home and go to bed. So that's what I do. I went home and I went to bed. And I wake up in the morning, and the next day I talked to Andy, and what he did was not get home in any way, shape, or form. He kept walking down that road another, I want to say, Dave, like 14 blocks.
Yeah.
Like
Jesus.
all the way down to this big mall that we have. He walked all the way down there.
And it was -30 out that night too, I think.
No. It was like fall. It wasn't
of course
cold.
it was.
Yeah. It was like -5 maybe. It was.
Okay. All right.
I said it was nice before. It was nice for us. And the funny part of this thing is that before he had gotten all the way to this mall, he realized how much he had fucked up. So he decided he was going to run the rest of the way to get to this mall to hopefully get a cab, because his cell phone had died. So he was going to just hope that he could just steal someone's cab and get back home. So he's running all the way to this mall.
It's probably a
He
really
gets there.
sloppy run.
It's a sloppy run for a couple reasons. I'll tell you why it's sloppy in a second.
Uh-oh.
So he gets all the way to the mall. He's making his way through people outside this big movie theater that's there. People are giving him weird looks and shit. And he finally walks up to a cabin. The guy inside's like, I'm looking for Brenda or something. He's like, yeah, I'm Brenda. And he just jumps in the back, goes home. Now, apparently, back at this dude's house that we were at, a bunch of guys were getting drunk and they were just pissing off the balcony. So when Andy finished taking a piss, he didn't do his fly back up. It stayed wide open. And now as he was running to this mall, sort of a helicopter thing started to happen. So something got released and it started fucking spinning and it got all out there. Now I'd like to think that maybe propelled him. So when he got to the mall and he was passing through these crowds of people trying to get a cab, his fucking cock was just dangling freely out of his pants, and he didn't know because he's such a drunk schmuck. And yeah, that's their other dick out story. Funny story that we have. Sorry, Andy, but it's a funny story.
That's
Get over it.
fantastic.
Helicopter.
I would not be embarrassed of that story at all. That is.
Neither would I. I think that's really funny. If I can talk about shitting my pants in Walmart, I think Andy should be okay with having his dick fly out in front of a movie theater.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that's fantastic.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, so I know you guys wanted to talk cats.
Well, I got a question for you quick.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Listening back a couple episodes, I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
You were saying that the cats were getting frisky. Or like, whatever.
Yeah.
You were worried about
A little worried. Still
them
worried.
coming into themselves.
Yeah. Well, jeez.
Jesus, not like that!
They're those kind of cats.
What are you talking about? What?
Anyways, so
Do your cats come into themselves?
I just wanted to know what your emails are looking like nowadays that you were searching online about cat sex. You getting
Well, it's a very private club.
yeah.
It's $20 a month. No. No, I can't say I've got any strange emails, but yeah, I'm sure if you went down my browser history, what happens when one cat licks another cat's butthole? What?
Dude, I don't want to see your browser history now.
Live
I
stream
thought my
videos?
browser history was messed up.
Oh man, yeah. I mean,
So-
you paid
So
$10.
have your cats engaged in unholy activities?
Well,
Well, that's a different YouTube channel.
no, nothing as of yet. But she's definitely starting to get more affectionate, and I'm kind of worried about it.
You're gonna fuck her up.
So every time she tries to be happy or want to be petted, I just smack her away. No, I'm kidding.
No, you don't. I do the same thing. I have 2 cats, and like sometimes I get home from work, I open a beer, and I'm just sitting and watching TV, and my stupid cat jumps up on the couch and he wants to like lay on top of me, and I just get off me. Go fucking sit in a corner or go play with your stupid ball of string or something. Like they're pets, but they're just pets. I don't hate them. I love my 2 cats, but like sometimes just fuck off. Like I don't want. Get away from me. Am I the only person who has a cat that thinks this? Because I feel like I am sometimes.
I haven't quite reached that point yet, but
I do that sometimes. I don't do that all the time, but sometimes I just need my space.
Can't backpedal now, man. No,
No, I do that all the time. I'm just
no, no. I mean, they've been good. Definitely no. They still just wrestle and beat the shit out of each other, but I don't know. I think they're still too young. I mean, most people say that it's unlikely because we're gonna nip it in the bud before anything happens. But I don't know. I'm still
You're gonna nip that in the butt.
I'm still watching them like a hawk, and yeah.
I'm blown away by how many sex cat euphemisms you guys have hated. Like,
Yeah, there's more than one way to baste a turkey, if you know what I mean. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still dicks. Can't sleep much. They like to bite our feet a lot, and I don't know if that happens to you guys, but
Why do you let them in the bedroom? Why don't you just keep them outside?
when I have a cat. He's bordering on like 8 years old or 7 years old now. So I've had him for a long time, and I had him right from when he was a little kitten. And every time he would bite or scratch or anything, I know this sounds mean, but I would literally just punch him in the head.
wow.
Not hard. Like it'd be like a love tap to the head. But when he was a little dude, he understood. So now he doesn't scratch, he doesn't bite. He's a nice little cat.
Kind of like you just kind of like pat him.
Just kind of like sits there drooling in the corner.
No, there's this thing where people are like, you can't train your cat. They're just going to be jerks and you have to put up with it. No, you can totally train your cat. They don't have to be jerks. They can be nice animals.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be mean about it, but you don't have to put up with them just being little fucking heathens just because they're cats.
Oh,
I
agree.
think that's bullshit.
I agree,
That's
man.
just me though.
We were doing the water bottle thing for a long time, where you
Just
spray them a
throwing
little bit.
water bottles at him.
No,
You guys have a
pull and
I
spring
had-
right to the face.
I had a fucking super soaker I used to use.
Well, the thing
I would
is
soak him if he did something.
yeah, I'd spray the shit out. It's mostly the little one, the girl. She's kind of a bitch, but I spray the hell out of her. But then every time I spray her, like she just get more and more aggressive. So I stopped using it because she would just bite harder, and then I just have to keep picking her up and look her in the eye and say, "You better cut that shit out." But there's an ass whooping up front. But yeah, I don't know. They're young, man. They're young and unfixed. So I mean, they're only like 4 months old. So it's like,
Oh, you got kittens.
yeah, we got them like at
Oh,
like
that's
2 months old. Yeah, so they're
I love you know what, dude, I love kittens. They're so cute and nice and they're like all cuddly and then they grow up to be cats.
Yeah.
And they're kind of well,
well
And
they're cute and cuddly now, but they're fucking dicks because they don't know any better. So you got to
didn't you
keep
say
telling them.
you got them for your wife, correct? Or your wife wanted them?
Yeah, I got. She's always wanted them, so I got. I kind of made like, I was always against it forever, and then like this Christmas, I was like, all right, we can get cats, mostly because I had a mice problem, but that's
Hey.
different.
Microphone.
Well, but yeah, so now I love them, and
That's like a 20-year solution right there.
oh, I know.
and then you ended up looking after them most of the time, right?
Yeah, because she does accounting, so like this is her busy season, so she's working a lot. So now it's just me and the cats at home a lot of the time, and I can't really enjoy much other than taking care of them because I try to play with them to wear them out so they sleep at night, but that obviously doesn't matter. So they just stay up, because you're supposed to, like, what I've read in my advanced research is you play with them, get them all tired out, then you feed them, and then they go into like licking and sleep mode.
Have you tried shots?
I would just force catnip upon them. And after they would get really high, and then when they would come down, and then I would just lock them in their little kennel and I'd be fine for the night.
See, I didn't know if I feel like that'd be giving like alcohol to a baby. Because they're still young. I don't want to give them drugs this soon.
Right, and if you gave alcohol to a baby, it would stay quiet.
Yeah, it would. Stay quiet for good. But Jesus, I went there. But now I lost my train of thought. But yeah, they're fun. So,
Cats are fun. They have cool personalities.
oh yeah.
Or they will. When like kittens usually they're developing, but like eventually they'll have weird tics and interesting stuff they do.
You know what though? Deep down, you've always talked about how you love your cats, but you love dogs even more, and how much you want to get rid of your cats and get a dog.
I would never get rid of my cats because I don't trust anybody else with my cats. But yes, if I could choose right now, I would rather have a dog, I think, because I love dogs immensely.
They're a lot of work though. That's the only reason why we went with cats.
I enjoy the work though. Like I had a few years ago, I had a dog, little puppy, and I brought him up, I trained him, and like I love all that kind of stuff. I like the whole like taking them for walks and teaching them, and they they kind of become like your little cohort, your little friend. Like they kind of mold them into your little buddy, and they're always happy to see you, and you have somebody to hang out with, and I just think that's really cool for an animal.
Yeah.
Unlike a cat, when you walk in the house and they don't give a shit that you're home. They just want to eat.
Yeah, I could see that. The lazy part of me kicks in, and I'd end up just forgetting about it, and then it'd end up being a douche when it grows up.
Did you feed the dog? I don't know.
He's fed. He ate the
What
crumbs.
dog?
Yeah, that's the whole reason we got cats. But right now they're dogs, so I'm constantly doing stuff with them. But try. I'm sure the lady would say different, but anyways. Oh man.
So what else do you want to touch on? Poutine was the subject.
Oh, I got a good
Okay.
poutine story for you. Or unless
Okay,
you want to go first.
I want to hear your story first, actually.
Yeah, you guys go first. I want to hear yours.
All right. So where I used to work, there was a Canadian diner down the street. And it was called, I don't want to.
Canadian diner.
Yeah, it was basically a Canadian diner. It was the type of place where you go in, it looks like an old diner with like, you pay $2, you get unlimited coffee type thing. And one of the big things before this, I'd only really heard of poutine from like Epic Mealtime, and that's really it. So these guys are probably laughing at me, but
No, dude, I'm enthralled. Just keep going.
well, I mean by the Epic Mealtime thing, but So yeah, so I'm looking at the menu, and the big thing on there is like, it's mostly breakfast food. So
Like ham.
yeah, so poutine is obviously the biggest thing on the menu, and they got like probably 15 different kinds. So I'm looking through them like, all right, I've never had this before, but my buddy's like, talking it up about like, oh, dude, wait till you have this stuff. Wait till you have this stuff. So I get the way normally it was with French fries, but with this one they did hash browns, bacon, cheese curds, and then you get like toast on the side. So, I mean, I'm going to be honest, it was probably one of the greatest things I've ever eaten, but I know that is like the exact opposite of what actual poutine is. But ever since then, I've been wanting to go, because there was no gravy or nothing. It was, well, yeah, there was. There was the gravy, cheese curds, bacon, all on hash browns.
But it wasn't fried.
No, it was like baked in a bowl, like a.
And the gravy and the curds were like just poured over top of the hash browns.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, okay, why I don't like poutines is because a classic Canadian poutine is French fries covered in gravy and cheese curds, and that's all it is. And you eat it with a fork usually.
Yeah.
And why I don't like it, the people like it because the hot gravy melts the cheese curds a bit and the fries get soggy and whatever. And in my mind, a poutine looks like it's already been eaten.
Basically.
And I'm not down with that. Like French fries to me have to be crispy and crunchy and delicious. I don't want something that's been soaking in gravy and cheese for an hour so I can slop it in. It's not good. That's not good to me. I don't know a lot of people who agree with my statement. I think Andy actually doesn't like poutines either. But
what about cheese fries?
We don't really have cheese fries up here.
Cheese fries, like
nachos.
You got an oven, don't you?
What are nachos?
Come on, I know you're joking.
No, I am joking. Yeah, no, no. I just don't like the gravy part of poutines because they get like really soggy.
I can see.
And
that, yeah.
you're eating mush at a certain point, and that's why I don't like them.
That's why you got to get a shovel in. Just
because
every other person I know loves
shovel.
poutines except probably Andy. But yeah,
well, at that point, wouldn't it be just like mashed potatoes with gravy on it?
Yeah. That's what it sounds
Essentially.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's funny. I've made that exact argument. Is like if you're gonna eat a poutine, why not just eat mashed potatoes with gravy and cheese on them? It's the same shit.
It sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Than soggy French fries.
That's so funny. That's exactly what I said to somebody like a week ago. I was having the same conversation. I said just have mashed potatoes with cheese, and it would be so much better than a poutine.
I do want to make a quick clarification. Around here, we do in fact call them freedom fries. They are not French fries.
Freedom fries? You know what? I forgot you guys were American for a while until you said that.
Our cultures kind of just blended together in pure awesome.
And if
really,
you know,
are you kidding, or is that
no?
real?
If you know us, that's like the farthest from how we talk and are America.
Oh, okay, America.
Yeah,
dude, I totally believed you though. Like I thought they were free. Never mind. I'm just gonna stop.
No, I was sorry to cut you off your story about poutine, Dave, but I just wanted to say real quick that I was telling Geep over here that it was super interesting listening to your podcast about politics because when you live in the U.S., you never hear any truth about it. So like to hear the perspective from like an outside, obviously country, and to just talk real and just not really tear us apart, but just like, to finally hear people talking honestly about the U.S. was kind of nice. And it was actually, I almost like couldn't believe what I was hearing because I was like, wow, it's about time people said this kind of stuff. But
I'm glad because I honestly thought like we were just gonna like really piss people off.
Yeah, like when we sat down, because usually what we do is we plan out a month and say, okay, we're gonna record this and these subjects. When we picked politics, all of us were kind of on the edge because we didn't think anyone would find it interesting. We didn't think anyone would listen to it. But
I'll be
politics
honest,
is probably.
I was not looking forward to it. because I am like the least, not in a bad way, but just I'm just like not, I don't know politics for shit. So like I was like, all right, I guess I'll check this out. But dude,
Me neither, bro.
honestly, I was like, all right, you were finally talking at a level where I could understand. I learned a lot, and I finally got to listen to people rip on the U.S. without being just stupid Americans, doing it. So it was interesting.
You know what? Like, it's a weird stereotype. I think that like Americans think like Canadians are just dumb Northerners, and Canadians think Americans are just like stupid Americans. Like, I like a lot of Americans, especially you two guys and Dave, because since I'm the only Canadian here in this conversation.
Burn.
But yeah, it wasn't really a plan to like rip on American. I can't, like, we touched on gun control and a few other things, but like that wasn't really a plan. It just sort of devolved into that conversation. And I was like, as we were doing it, I was kind of thinking like, we're being a little harsh here, but we weren't. It just kind of happened, and I was like, I'm glad you guys kind of took it as we meant it, as just sort of our perspective, and not as a malicious sort of thing. And actually, that tweet that you tweeted us about like Sly's quote on that was awesome. That was like that was epic. That made my morning when I saw that. That was really cool.
You know how I found that? On a United States like gun company's Twitter, and they were making fun of him for that.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
And I saved it and I sent it
Jesus.
to you. Like, yeah, dude, he said such a great quote, and I'm like, these guys, they're like all about guns from like down south, and they were making fun of him for that. But I was like, dude, this is great. About time somebody said something.
You know what I want to touch on real quick is we could go into politics probably all night, but just real quickly is if you guys want to share your two's opinion on gun control and your healthcare, if you guys want to get into that.
Let's hear about poutine real quick from Dave. So you said you were into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep this thing going. So
Gross fries and gravy and cheese. Dave, go.
First off, you're wrong. It's probably the best use of fries, gravy.
No, it's
and
not,
cheese.
Dave.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
well, the
not,
cheese
Dave.
curds are amazing. I mean,
You can be so creative with it. You can add varieties of meat to it. You can throw anything you want on there.
Yeah,
It's
you could have it
delicious
look like
dish.
throw up after a night of drinking or throw up after a night of a big dinner.
We're not going to agree on this topic.
It could be salty, it could be cheesy, it could be cold, it could be warm.
I've never seen somebody so passionate about anti-poutine.
anti-poutine.
The only thing I don't like about it is the name, because it sounds kind of dirty,
It's
like
French.
yeah, like
poutine.
like Regina.
Yeah, sounds like punta.
Well, my buddy, for the record, when we were driving there, he always referred to it as poontine. Like, let's go get some poontine. Kind of like the poontang reference. So, just saying.
I like it. I've talked to a few other podcasters that have inquired about it, like what you do to make it, and I really hope they try it because I think it's delicious and a great way to try cheese, gravy, and fries.
Quick, what type of gravy?
You know how it's made? You feed a polar bear gravy, cheese, and fries, and he regurgitates it onto a plate.
Then you punch
That's
him in the
poutine.
stomach.
You're not going to win this argument.
All
Well, you might. But any delicious gravy will do,
All right,
as long as it's not vegetable.
gotcha.
Another Canadian thing, if we're talking about poutine, is have you guys ever tried maple syrup? You must have. Maybe?
That is.
You mean Aunt Jemima's?
Is it? If it says maple syrup, sure.
Well,
pretty
see,
sure
that's where you're wrong,
he's
buddy.
from Canada. He doesn't know these things.
Oh yeah,
That's
Who
actually.
the hell is Aunt Jemima?
that's racist. No. Go ahead.
What's racist? I just asked who she was. What are you implying?
I don't know. Go ahead. I don't want to talk anymore. Go ahead. I
Our
already wrote-
maple syrup is from a maple tree. What does Aunt Jemima do?
She takes care of Denise. So that's my weird Walmart story. Me and Gam over here, we got into making our own or producing our own maple syrup, and
What? Cool.
yeah. So I
And for the record, though, it was called beard syrup. Just for the record.
yeah, that was our company.
Good name. Good name.
So I ran to Walmart quick to get a splatter screen because we would cook it on a propane like turkey fryer kind of deal, and little bugs and stuff would get into the sap as we were cooking it down. So I ran and got some splatter screens, and I was out of socks, and I needed a thermometer, and it was just a weird combo that the cashier was looking at me weird to have a splatter screen, some socks, and a thermometer.
What is this guy
What
doing
is this guy
tonight?
doing?
God help you if you would have picked up a bottle of lube with that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got any lotion?
Yeah. You got any condoms with
Dude,
this?
whenever I
Oh.
get lube, I make sure I get a splatter screen at the same time.
That's exactly. I mean, that's
Trust me, you should see my wallpaper. I went there.
so maple syrup. Yeah, we've had it.
Yeah, we. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. In America, there's two different kinds of maple syrup. Sorry, I wasn't talking to the mic.
Yeah, there's maple syrup and there's table syrup.
Table syrup, which is basically just tons of sugar with
well,
maple flavoring.
It's high fructose corn syrup with some additives.
Yeah, because if you want to buy like actual maple syrup, like you guys have, it is ungodly expensive and pretty much hard to come by. You know?
Oh no, I mean you can get it in the grocery store.
Yeah,
It's just expensive.
it's expensive as fuck.
Comparative.
Whereas you go and you get Aunt Jemima's for like $2 for like a gallon of it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm going to do. I actually sent a Canadian care package this week to another podcast. You guys are next on my list, and I'm actually going to throw in some maple syrup.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Official.
We can
Official
send-
Canadian maple syrup.
We can.
We'll
send
put a
that-
poutine in there too, guys.
We don't need a soggy box, too.
Yeah.
No, you'll love it. It'll be exactly the same when you get it as when we send it.
It'll just be cold. You gotta
just
eat
start
it up.
just start eating the box.
You just heat it up.
Yeah.
Heat it up. Add some maple syrup if you like the sweet and salty thing. You'll be good. Then you can experience a true poutine and how great
Sweet.
they are.
Oh man, you were saying?
I was gonna say beard syrup too.
Oh, you guys still have some left?
Oh yeah. That
No
are.
way, that's-
I mean, the season's coming
Yeah,
for
season's
us. So.
coming up.
Oh, you still do it?
Yeah.
No way. That's awesome. Well, I tell you what. After this is done, I'll shoot you my address, and if you want, you can shoot me yours, and we'll exchange some goods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and we'll have to talk about if there's any other American like if there's even anything American you want to try or.
Yeah, like McDonald's.
Yeah,
Do we have McDonald's?
American fast food is so much better than Canadian fast food.
Why?
It just tastes so much better. I can't even go into detail.
Because if they put more.
Every time I go down there, it's like nom nom nom. Like you just can't stop eating.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if y'all want.
What was I thinking? I was thinking something.
Hot dogs.
Yeah, we can send you up some ballpark franks.
Ha.
Oh no, I do want to be honest about one thing. Your coffee's not that good.
What?
Yeah, we had a couple Tim Hortons down here.
You know what's funny? Because Dunkin' Donuts tried to come to Canada and it failed miserably
Just like Target.
because your coffee was terrible. Your donuts weren't very good either.
Dunkin'
like your
Donuts
retail.
is awful.
Yeah, it's we talk bad about.
Well,
it
what
all the
coffee do
time.
you have down there that's good? Because like
Starbucks and
Yeah, if you're
we've
gonna
got Starbucks,
Starbucks is terrible.
we've got Second Cup.
well, the only reason I bring it up is every now and then I go up to Rochester, New York, which is like right on the border of
Yeah.
Canada, and the only thing they have up there is Tim Hortons, and it's just like watery coffee. I don't know if it's because it's just in the U.S. or I mean, do you guys have Tim Hortons up there? I've always heard it was Canadian, but I didn't know.
Dude, all we have is Tim Hortons. Like every block, we've got a Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
Every small town, it could be like a trailer and a small shack that makes like that skins beavers or something. There's fucking Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
In that little tiny little town.
Yeah.
No matter where you go in most of Canada, we've got Tim Hortons everywhere.
Yeah, that's
It's it's a staple here.
that's Dunkin' Donuts in New England.
Yeah. Dude, every 5 feet there's a fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, every block.
And it's trash.
What's that other donut place you guys got? Krispy Kreme?
Krispy Kreme, yeah.
I haven't seen one of those up here in a while. I think they closed them out.
They tried to come up here too, and they failed.
It's because we have our Tim Hortons.
See,
Yeah.
those are damn good donuts, man.
Yeah, but I think the only one in Connecticut is at the casinos. Otherwise, you have to go to like New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had like 2 pop up years back, but they closed down. They didn't last.
Yeah. You guys into pizza?
Yeah.
We're famous for New Haven style pizza. It's some of the best.
Which I don't get because New Haven style pizza is New York pizza.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the difference?
Nothing.
None.
Connecticut.
It's just we're famous for one place, Frank Pepe's, which is like supposedly one of the best in the country. But it's
So you just needed a place to be famous for, and
yeah, pretty much. We also invented the cheeseburger.
The
Oh,
steam-
you invented the
the
cheeseburger,
steam-
really?
The steamed cheeseburger.
Yeah, at Ted's Cheeseburgers in New Haven. Well, yeah, they give it
Wow.
to you on a paper plate. You can't use ketchup. You can't use anything. You have to eat it. It's just a burger with cheese and on a bun. That's
Yeah,
it.
You can only eat it or snort it.
Yep.
Wow, that sounds really good. Maybe I could try one of those with a poutine sometime.
Oh yeah.
With
we'll
Aunt Jemima's on top
oh.
while watching some NASCAR.
I don't think you guys. I'm gonna send you some Aunt Jemima so you can see how fucking terrible it is.
All right.
I'll be waiting. I'm looking forward to trying whoever this Aunt Jemima is and what she produces.
The reason I bring it up, should I spoil the bottle or like?
No, let them see it.
All
if
right,
they haven't seen it.
make me one promise, guys.
Don't
all right,
Google
okay.
it.
If you truly do not know what Aunt Jemima's is, do not look it up in any way, shape, or form, and no Google images, no nothing, because when you get it, it's gonna be a awesome surprise.
Okay.
All right, won't look it up.
All right. So yeah, you want to talk guns and politics?
If you guys want. I know sometimes when I talk to Americans about this, it gets very heated because I know you guys are very passionate for your gun control laws.
Well, you obviously don't know us that well. We don't really get heated over things.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that usually when you bring up topics like God,
Dave,
politics,
don't
and gun control-
stereotype your own.
Well,
people.
no, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I meant that as in like, just that's not us. I mean, we don't really follow. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I know that like I don't
Better
follow politics. I don't really. Guns to me don't matter. Same with like gays and all that stuff.
They don't matter. Fucking gays and guns. They don't exist.
All right.
Ed podcast. Ed podcast.
Just drop it.
Dude, I know what you mean. Don't worry.
You know what I mean? I
It's not prevalent on your mind.
if I lived back in the day, the slavery days, I'd be the guy
What,
that
blacks too? Jesus, just stop.
No. All right, I'm done.
No, I want to know what was your thought.
I was gonna
curious.
say I'd be the guy walking by high-fiving everybody.
Answer.
True.
That's true.
That's big.
'Cause he would get in quicker and get treatment fast.
Well, he could afford it, so good for him.
When it comes to
Literally,
like,
all I can do is think about you high-fiving a row of slaves and all of them looking.
when
I can't stop thinking about it.
Why
No.
is he all happy?
when, yeah.
I've twice, Billy Joe.
Just
man.
running down. Woo!
Skipping as you go.
Good game. Good game. Good game.
just like, don't worry about anything we've done. Good game. It's okay.
Purple boxer top hanging out of your fly, like just going down the row.
Oh, the callback. Yeah.
I got this note on my phone.
Does he know that his cock's hanging out? Still permit.
Really?
It's not a bad thing though.
No, I mean I'm happy because I like you guys said, I wish less people had guns because at least 90% of the people that have them don't need them for anything and are probably just dangerous with
Right.
them.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth getting heated over. I mean, no matter what we do, you know, they're always going to be here. It's America, you know? Every veteran that comes back from war, I mean, they deserve what they get, but they become gun happy, and then, you know, they buy a bunch of guns, and then, you know, I mean, I just mean that as in, like, there's always going to be the guns out there, man. You know, there's going to be, you know.
We are stepping on so many toes tonight.
You're going to get so much viewer feedback and hate because
You know
of
what?
this.
Whatever, man. It is what it is. I mean, it's no different than, like, the hunters, man. It's the same with the hunters. Is, you know, once they shoot their first rifle or shoot their first animal, they just, they just go crazy and they buy a bunch. They need the top of the line shit. And
I agree. Like, there's no reason to own anything other than a rifle, possibly a shotgun to go hunting. You don't need an AK-47 sitting in your fucking closet just because, or like a collection of Magnums and 22s in your desk drawer because I don't care, but it's because people think it's their right to have a ton of guns. It should be stricter because not every single person that owns a gun is an idiot and is going to go shoot stuff up. But the fact is that people who do that, it shouldn't be so easy for them to get it. That's what it is. If guns are for recreational purposes like hunting, okay, and if they have to go through kind of a stricter process to get them, that's good.
yeah,
But not everybody should be able to just grab hold and go fucking yeehaw and whatever they feel like. It's stupid.
no, and I think it's just like anything else. You know, it's the same with alcohol in this country and anything like that, like weed or, you know, any drugs. Is once people find out they can't have them, they want them. You know, that's how it is.
But alcohol is like a staple.
Yeah, but you gotta be 21. I don't know how it is up there, but you gotta be 21 to even think about having
18.
alcohol.
It's 18 up here.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine 21 to be able to drink. I think I would have just ended it before 21.
well, that's
You
the
know,
thing.
that's-
Is like you wait all those years, and then, you know, it builds up, and you keep sneaking it, and you're doing it against the law technically, and then it just adds that, like, I don't know how to say it, but, like, it just adds that appeal to it, you know, because you're breaking the law, you're, you know, being a badass, whatever, and then whereas
our government may be boring, but they're like, kids are going to drink anyway, so we may as well just tax them for it.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's how it is in Europe too. I mean, they grow up drinking, and they learn how to, you know, pace themselves, and they learn how, you know, that you can have one glass of wine with dinner and be all right, but if you know, drink the whole bottle, you know, you're gonna pay for it. You know, that's how it is. But I don't know. I think the whole alcohol thing with me is more touchy than anything, because I just think it's stupid. I think it's smarter to, you know, to learn young, you know, just like anything else, and then, you know, I mean, I'm sure in a lot of ways it would, you know, a lot of people would abuse that and fuck up, but there's the what do you call it? Not crowd control, but population control.
Population control.
There you go. If you're so stupid, you're gonna, you know, at 14 get super drunk and, you know, get in a car and drive and kill yourself. Well, that's your fault.
That's Darwinism. It's survival of the fittest and the smartest.
Exactly.
You know, people might frown on that, but if you're dumb enough to get yourself killed in a dumb way, well, you know,
Yeah.
you know, maybe there's someone else that could benefit from your absence by, you know, having a little bit of extra food or gas or air or whatever. I don't know.
Can't hear anything. That's it. Hello?
Nah, you're good.
All right.
We're still good.
I dropped my headphones. I just got so heated that I just, you know, I started throwing shit.
You didn't know what to say, so you're like Frank's bass player and just saw the chord and stepped on it.
Yeah.
That was a great episode, by the way. I love that episode.
Ah, thanks, man. Yeah. I hadn't had a chance to listen back to it, but yeah, it felt good. It was good.
Do you guys listen to a lot of your own shows after you record them, or do you record them, put them out there, and then just let it go?
I know I personally don't, because I usually nitpick and hate myself. But I
Well,
kind
I-
of want
it's
to
just
listen to that one to hear Frank again. But
Yeah, I'm like a sports guy. I listen back and critique and
take notes.
take notes.
You got a chalkboard with X's and O's and arrows all over it.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Whenever we release an episode, I usually will go home when the day it's released and just listen to it and critique us as a group and myself and just try to stop doing things I don't like doing and get things better that I like doing. I can't not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you notice things that you do. Like I noticed I say whatever like every other word like a valley girl.
Whatever.
And it's very annoying to me.
Whatever.
I used to say
whatever.
I probably still say it, but I used to say every three words like I was a 15-year-old prepubescent girl, and I think I've toned it down a bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I used to say it a lot.
But then you get in your head too.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
another-
I stress out.
Yeah, but you stress out pretty easy.
Yeah.
Another thing Aaron did quite often when we started recording is he talks with his hands. So quite frequently he would bang the table, and when we were recording, you would hear that, right? So to counter this could also go back to one of the stories for buying weird things in retail stores. Me and him, two grown-ass men, are in Toys R Us buying a little tiny stuffed giraffe that he could hold on to while we're recording so he doesn't tap his hands on the table.
Jeez.
Two grown-ass men, one of them buying the stuffed giraffe for the other guy.
But giraffe became our mascot.
Every podcast after he bought me that, I would hold that little giraffe, and I stopped banging and tapping and using my hands.
You got to tell the elevator story because that's a great one.
Speaking of
Okay. So for a while when we started this out, we would either record in my apartment or Andy's apartment, and we live in the same building, just about 6 or 7 floors apart from each other. So about a month ago or so, I gathered up some of my my shit, some mic stands and stuff, and I grabbed Giraffe, or my little stuffed giraffe, because I usually ended up bringing him to every recording, and he became kind of like our little pseudo mascot kind of thing that we always had around. So I go out, leave my apartment to the elevator to go down to Andy's place to meet up with the boys to start our show, and I click down on the elevator thing, and I'm carrying Giraffe, like the little giraffe toy, like he's a baby. Like I'm carrying him like kind of under my arm. I'm holding him like he's a real thing. Like, not uncomfortably or awkwardly. Like I'm holding him like he's a little baby giraffe under my arm.
Like he's sitting on your hip.
Right, exactly. And the elevator door opens, and I'm faced with 3 extremely attractive women, 2 brunettes and 1 blonde. And I'm looking down at my phone at the time, and the door opens, and I look up, and they all look at me, look at the giraffe, look at me, and then all like just sort of glance away awkwardly. And I just was kind of like, oh, and I got on the elevator, pushed the button, and they were all lined up, standing kind of behind me, and I could just. I swear I could hear them just laughing. Like they weren't laughing, but I could hear them laughing and pointing. And I held my giraffe. I didn't try to hide it or anything. I had to go down 6 floors with these women and walk off. And by the time I got off the elevator, I could literally hear them laughing out loud at me. And whatever. They didn't understand the significance of that giraffe. Whatever. I don't care.
You got to be proud of that, man.
Yeah.
It was funny though. I was kind of like, wow, I look like something else, but I don't care. It was the draft. It was important.
Yeah. Who knows, man? You could have threw out one of your famous lines, and maybe she would have thought you were adorable or something, and picked her up right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I should have given her like a giraffe fact or something.
Well, you also don't want to sound like, did you know giraffes have like 4 arms?
Do you know giraffe tongues are like 12 inches long?
Or do you know that giraffes are good at necking?
Oh.
I could have got all 3 with those.
Exactly.
Shit.
Next time, buddy.
Yeah, you see, you came up with those quick.
Okay, if that happens again, now I know.
Yeah. Is that from your extensive Africa research?
I've done like no Africa research other than I think they've got giraffes, I'm pretty sure.
But you want to live there.
Yeah, I
don't
heard
know.
somebody was like obsessed with Africa and really loved and wanted to live there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. No, I said I wanted to. I don't think I want to live.
You
Well,
totally said you want to live there.
Whoa, going back on
no,
his word.
I do. No, I really do want to go there. It's the only place in the world I've ever really wanted to go visit and see the entire. Which sucks because it's really hard to do to actually go see that entire country. Because a lot of the places you almost just couldn't go. But it's really neat. It's such a diverse kind of area and like. And the landscape and the animals and shit. Like I just think it'd be really cool to go there. I may have said that I want to live there. I'm not quite sure if I'd be sold on living there. I'm sure certain parts of it would be okay, but I don't know. I've always just had a thing for Africa, and it's just kind of a neat place. But it's almost like it would be one of the coolest places to go, but one of the hardest places to visit, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I'd ever want to go there.
I would want to go there, but I don't know if I'd ever make it.
I don't know. I hear about all the like the shots and the possible diseases and the water you can't drink and the list goes on. And I'm like, oh, plus the Black Plague has reoccurred.
You got the plague, you got tuberculosis, you got Ebola, you got AIDS, you've got multiple people who would want to shoot you. And then you've got like animals that would kill you. You've got deserts that would kill you. Tropical rainforests that would kill you. But it looks cool. I would still go there.
I'd rather.
But I wouldn't want to get AIDS or anything.
I'd rather just like fly a helicopter over it and look, and then leave, or like a plane.
That wouldn't go very good though, because they tried that in Jurassic Park 3 and they crashed.
That's true.
I feel like the same thing would happen. Like you'd be flying your plane over the Sahara or whatever they call it, and you'd see a giraffe head pop out, and you would attack your plane, and you'd crash into the jungle, and then some elephant would chase you down, and you'd be stuck there forever.
Not bad. So I kind of wanted to also talk about like podcasting with you guys.
All right.
And I don't want to be like the stereotypical interview show and be like, oh, how'd you get into podcasting? But I mean, I noticed like you guys are killing it, especially like on Twitter, and you guys are doing like a bunch of shows, and I don't know if I've said it yet, but we appreciate you coming on the show. But I see you guys are like going all over, guesting on a bunch of shows, and I don't know. I'm just curious, like how you got into that, like. Reaching out and, because every podcast I ever listen to, people like kind of stick to their own thing and mostly just have like celebrity guests on or,
Well, I think before we get into that, like I want to say that you guys were actually the first podcast I listened to, but it was the first one I listened to because I watched you guys live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were the first indie podcast, and I still remember that live session. And I was texting Aaron that night, like, "Holy shit, this is really cool! Like, do you see what these guys are doing?" And he kind of tuned in and watched it.
Yeah, I was sitting at home. I don't know what I was doing, and I got like 8 texts from Dave saying, like, "Go check out Geep and Gam. Go check out Geep and Gam. They're doing a live podcast on YouTube. Oh my god, go check this out. Go check this out." And I ignored his first like 5 texts because I was busy. I think I was playing a video game. And finally, I was like, fine. And I just paused what I was doing, and I went over to YouTube, and I watched like a half hour or so of one of your YouTube shows.
Hey, do you remember what episode that was? I mean, it's all right if you don't, but
Permit for Racism was the first one I watched.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that was the one. And when I turned it on, you guys were. I remember the first thing I saw was one of you sitting on a futon.
Yep. The infamous.
Yeah, and then you kind of the camera flipped back and forth a little bit, and you continue to talk. But you were probably, I'd say, I guess if that counts, you were probably the first other podcast I listened to after we had started podcasting, or watched / listened to anyway.
Yeah, because I think we kind of hooked up through Instagram, which was weird because you never really think you'd find podcasts or people on Instagram. Because I think you liked some of our pictures, and I remember checking you guys out, and then I think I followed you on Twitter and just tuned in. But I'm very grateful that you guys were able to take some time out of your schedule and fit us in, especially this late at night for you guys. And you're not the first one, unfortunately. Dan Lizette from Pod Digest has that honor, but I'm extremely honored that you guys were able to, make some time to have us on. It's really cool. But I guess as far as our roots go, before I want to ask you guys the same question, is we were drunk at a bar. Usually everything amounts to being drunk at a bar for us.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Can I back? Just let me backtrack slightly.
Yeah,
Is that Andy Spiteri, our other cohort there? He had this idea ages ago to have a podcast because he thought we were so hilarious and we could always sit around and have these funny conversations, and we all just were like, "You're an idiot, shut up!" And like we just ignored him for months, and then finally, I came around to the idea like, I think this would actually be like really fun if we got together and started like recording stuff, and kind of like me and Alex did at the same time, and like funny enough, like at this point, Dave was sort of like we've always been really good friends, but like he wasn't in the conversation with us as much at this point. And we ended up at the bar, like Dave said, because that's what we do. And we were chatting and drinking, and we were talking to Dave about. Oh, not quite yet. We were talking to Dave about just like the idea of a podcast, and Dave obviously had a band and had some recording stuff, and he just said like I have some mics, I have some stuff that you guys could probably use, and we're like, oh well, if you've got stuff, like you're coming on our podcast with us, that'll be awesome. And then that kind of set it, and then go forward like another couple of weeks, we had this crazily intense discussion at the bar about the idea of a robot uprising,
drunken robot uprising,
and how it could realistically happen. And it lasted forever. And I remember Andy Spiteri was like massively on one side of it, and I was against him. And Dave and Alex were kind of on different sides in the middle. And there were people with us that thought it was really funny and like we were idiots or it was interesting. And we just decided like that would be the perfect way to start a podcast. But at that point, we didn't know what we were doing really, so we just started doing stuff on YouTube and just kind of, I guess the best way to say it is almost get practice and kind of get ourselves, just kind of get like some of the technical stuff down and get some of the other little things out of the way that people don't really think about when they listen to recordings, like group dynamics and not making noise in the mic and just trying to do things properly. And from there it's kind of history. We eventually got onto iTunes and Stitcher and stuff like that. We kept some of our smaller shows coming out on YouTube, like our Up All Nights, where we just talk about our sex lives, and they're just ridiculous. And Quickies are just kind of like these stupid little 10 minute things where we just randomly talk about something. But it was kind of a long process and kind of drawn out, but like we sort of just stumbled into it and just. Like I guess we kind of just made things up as we went, and we always had a kind of a clear idea of what we wanted to be as a podcast, and I think we've stuck to that fairly well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
No, as a small podcast, that's a great feeling when you get on like iTunes and Stitcher and see your own stuff up there. It's a pretty big deal. Even though it's pretty easy, but I don't know, it's really rewarding when you finally see your show up. And
yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty weird feeling, especially like I'd say the weirdest feeling I think I've ever had. I still can't quite describe it, is when I see like a random stranger like tweet something about our show and say like, "Oh, I just listened to the Cool Story Show, blah blah blah. It was really good." It's just really strange to hear that for the first time. Like some random person likes our stuff.
What about?
It's always nice to see.
How did you guys get started doing this?
We've said we should do it for years.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing was with us is when we were working at the factory. I I started listening to podcasts to learn. I was doing I feel like everybody goes through cycles. Like they start with the education ones, and then they go to like the comedy, and then more fine tune their interest type thing. So I feel like the both of us were just like equipment from playing in bands forever. And we're just, I mean, how long were we saying like, we should do this, we could do it type thing?
Well, we would work together, in separate departments at the guitar factory, but then we'd go back and work on our own stuff after that and hang out with my dog. and we'd always come up with these like different like stupid characters, different voices, like what these guys would say, and like all this like really dumb shit.
We'd go on for hours.
Yeah, it'd be like that joke for the night. It'd be like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, like something.
What are you doing?
Yeah, something stupid, you know. And then just forever, we were just like, we should do a podcast. And finally, like one day, in like October, I was like, one of us was like, hey, let's record one.
Yeah,
and
because
that was it.
like I don't know where we were talking about it, but through the summer where we really didn't see each other at all. So when we did hang out, you know, we feel like we never had enough time to catch up.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, what if we do this show where we just, you know, kind of get together and really one time a week, the only time we do see each other, just, you know, kind of bullshit on a mic, you know, maybe have some buddies come in. And that's pretty much all it is. I mean, there's no real point to the show other than
That's it.
Yeah, just us catching up and bullshitting.
I tell you what, I'm listening to podcasts all the time. Like it's my thing that I've come to love, and I think I'm up to 35 shows that I'm checking out or trying to reviews. But you guys and two others are my top favorite three, and I never miss an episode every week.
Thanks,
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
And yeah, like I said, I really appreciate you guys taking the time and having us on, because I know it's probably late there, and we've been talking for a glorious amount of time, which has been so much fun.
You guys are like 2 hours ahead, are you not? Ish. Like we're it's 8 o'clock. It's 20 after 8 here.
That's 20 after 10 here.
Yeah.
Wow. So even just staying up late and talking with us, like it's so grateful to have this conversation with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like you were saying, like on Twitter and stuff. I mean, I'm mostly the Twitter guy, and I don't really do like a quarter of what you do. But I mean, when it comes to reaching out, I mean, I think you guys are really the only guys that like stuck to talking to and, you know, listening to your show and stuff. So it's cool to have you on here and finally meet you and, talk to.
Well, we intend to have you guys on our show too within the next few months. We're going to lay down some guest people, and we definitely want to have you guys on.
Yeah, because you were telling me you got like new people on every week, and what are you doing, like fans now? Because the girl you had on was like a fan, right?
She's a friend of ours, and she's always like a longtime supporter. She'd listen to like pretty much every YouTube thing we put out, and then listen to all of our stuff that we had on iTunes. So she's wanted to come on and chat with us for a long time. So we thought we thought it was a good fit to have her on. And we've got a few other things for fan type stuff maybe coming in the future. But yeah, we've definitely wanted to have, kind of like you guys are doing now, like another podcast on our show, just because first of all, like we've never done it, and I think it would just be kind of cool to have a conversation with another podcast and just see what becomes of that.
Yeah, as opposed to a topic, you mean? Because normally, for the people listening that don't know, your show, you might have said it earlier, but your show is you basically pick a topic every week, and then you kind of just riff for however long, right?
We basically just we pick a topic about, like, literally our shtick is like whatever we happen to be wanting to talk about. So like we've covered like a few things. Like we started with the robot uprising, the possibility of it, and then we've gone to mutants, and then we've talked about our teenage days, and then we've talked about travel, we've talked about God, we've talked about politics. An upcoming episode, we're talking about The Simpsons. Like we literally try to hit. We don't try to make it random, but like that's kind of what we go for. Is anything that the four of us enjoy as a group. That's what we want to get out there to everybody.
Yeah, man. So what? Well, I was just gonna say that, like, so as opposed to that format, if you had a show where it was like, say, us on there, or like Pod Digest, or, you know, you would basically just kind of bullshit, like you were saying, and just kind of see where it goes, type thing.
I don't want to say we're at conflicting opinions on this right now, but it depends on what podcast you are. Like next Monday, we're fortunate that Snake Oil Comics is going to come on, and we're going to talk about the Marvel universe in movies and DC and kind of that whole jam.
That's awesome.
Maybe if we have Dan from Pod Digest on, we can talk about like pods he's reviewed or just podcasts in general. But we usually try to have a central subject. But I would definitely have you guys on and just shoot the shit.
Our usual thing is like if we have a guest on, we like for them to come up with something that they like.
Yeah.
So our last guest, Sam, who came on our travel episode, she really liked to travel. So that was the topic, and that's what we talked about. So like maybe if you guys came on, we would talk about, maybe we would pick
poutine.
I don't know. We'd pick just like poutine. We'd pick high-fiving slaves. We'd pick Walmart stories.
I hope everybody forgets all that.
Oh, people are gonna love that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We just try to pick stuff that like even if it's interesting or not, I think if the person who's talking about it enjoys what they're talking about it, that'll come through and it'll be good to listen to. Is what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, it's cool to meet you guys, and I mean, I know I gotta start getting better at the Twitter thing, man. Because you guys just blew up, man.
You're the one to talk. I'm
Dude,
like an 80-year-old man.
I'm not good at the Twitter thing at all. I kind of a few months ago, Dave was really wanting to share our show and like interact with the community as much as he could, and he just sort of jumped on. He got on Instagram a little bit, and then he just like went hardcore and started to like gang rape the Twitter bandwagon. And all he has done since then is just tweet endlessly. We will make fun of him all the time because like we'll be sitting as a group, like the four of us hanging out, just out for a beer or whatever, like we do, and we'll be chatting, and Dave will literally be sitting there and like tweeting and promoting and tweeting and promoting, and we make fun of him. We appreciate it at the same time that he's getting our show out there, but like we can't not make fun of him for it, so we do. Yeah. But he is endlessly tweeting. I tweet a bit, but pretty small by comparison, and then Andy even less, and then Gurns or Alex even just a little bit less than that. So we all do our part, but Dave is like the Twitter whore, and he's on there tweeting all the time.
Well, you know what
we appreciate it though.
You know what it is though is discovering the community. Like I never used Twitter before this. I tweet something random like, "How hanging out with friends tonight" or something, but I never got into Twitter before podcasting. And I mean, you guys have probably seen it. Like the podcast community out there is so huge and massive.
Massive, dude.
You make like I've made such good friends. I mean, I've never met or hung out with any of you guys, but I would consider you guys friends. And I wouldn't have had that without Twitter. And like a good example of that is, I don't know if you guys saw, but the guys over at Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, their dog passed away this past week, and I've been following them for weeks. Yeah, 7.
7. Yeah,
and
sad.
I was absolutely like I was touched and devastated when it happened, because you connect with these people and you have these kind of long distance podcast relationships.
Yeah. And
that's essentially why I do this, is because I enjoy it so much, talking to everyone and just hanging out.
Yeah, the indie, I'll call it the indie podcast community. I had no idea it was there until Dave just like dove in, and it really surprised me like how cool everybody is. And like they'll always like, want to share your stuff and interact and things like that. It's pretty cool. It's interesting. I didn't think it would be there, but it was. So that's good. It's good. Yeah. Good thing to have around.
Yeah, I didn't want to poke fun at you, Dave, but I noticed during the show you were like retweeting stuff and like sending out Twitter things. So I'm like, oh yeah, even during the show, he's going.
He can't stop. He literally can't stop. Like he's on Twitter right now. Just as you said that, he went to Twitter.
No, I mean,
phone. I'm not kidding.
Honestly, just from like the little I've done and trying to like, kind of get us out there, it's like more than a full-time job. And unfortunately at my job, I can't look at my phone all day. So it just makes it twice as hard when I get out, but it's just nonstop, man. It's crazy. Like to actually become successful on Twitter is nonstop. It's like you can make a living like managing a Twitter for somebody or like a Facebook. It's crazy.
It practically has become my second full-time job, but I love doing it.
Yeah, that's the key right there.
I'll try not to take you guys in.
I'm going to tell you guys extra now.
No, go for it, man. Honestly,
even if I'm not tweeting at that is anything relevant to you guys, I'm just gonna throw Geep and Gam
Yeah, please
right at
do.
the end.
Honestly,
It could be about nothing to do with you. I'll just throw you guys in just to get you in.
no, honestly, I found out like a lot just like watching you guys. Like I found out about Dark Angels, I found out about like Pod Digest, I found out about like tons of shows that I would have never found just like watching or like getting tagged in the same stuff. Like Snake Oil, like I started talking to those guys a little bit, like, and yeah, it's really cool, man. So you guys actually kind of helped us, get out there more, with the review, and we really appreciated that. And on your blog and just your constant mentions of us on other shows. That's awesome, man. And
Well, it's my pleasure. It seriously is.
so yeah, it's kind of a, like you said, the community is really cool, and yeah, it's definitely massive. That's for sure.
Very massive. And I'll be honest. I mean, I try to catch up with a lot of shows, but the reality is between life and our shows and that, like I can't listen to 30 or 40 different podcasts.
No, it's tough.
So I do try to rotate some few, but I think I'm actively listening to 15 weekly.
That's still a substantial number, man. I was maxing out at like 8, I think, but those were like regular.
Really?
Well, I mean, when I was
I'm
back at the factory, like every day listening, I was, 8 shows just
I'm at
all
like
week.
I'm at like 5 right now, which you guys are one of, by the way.
Thank you.
And whenever I'm just hanging out at home and I play video games, I just put a podcast on my laptop or whatever and turn it up as I'm playing on my Xbox, and I just listen to you guys and 4, maybe 5 other ones, so maybe 6 sometimes. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep up. Like sometimes I won't listen to certain podcasts for like a couple weeks on end, but I try to keep up with a certain few.
Well, catching up is a bitch, huh?
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to do.
If you can listen to that stuff while you're at work, it's a godsend. But like,
oh yeah,
sometimes I just don't have the time to keep up with everybody. But I try. I do what I can. I'm not Dave Meyer. I'm only human.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it is getting late, and we've been going at it for
Almost 3 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to split the show up into a 2-parter, man.
Yeah, what are we, Rogan?
Yeah. So the show that takes you all day to listen to.
Yeah.
Part 1, Aaron hands. Part 2, Geep and Gam high-fiving slaves.
Oh, forget that part. It's
Yeah.
disappearing. No.
No, you got to keep that part.
No,
That
I'm
part's my
kidding.
favorite part.
I mentioned that in every one of our podcasts.
Oh,
Delete that part.
Jesus.
I'm going to mention that for like the next 18 podcasts that I do.
Let's just.
So I do want to give some shout outs here, and I mean we definitely just did a bunch. Podhead Rod, one of your buddies there. He said back when we were talking about the giraffe in the elevator, he's like, you should have asked them if they wanted to pet your little giraffe. So shout out to him and Denise. And I also want to give a shout out to Almost a Show. Obviously, the Cool Story Show guys, and Dark Angels, Pretty Freaks, Quad Father from Quadcast, and I think Jay from Rockin' Comedy Show is still playing us on there. So I don't know. It seems like every week they're playing us, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think we had Crap Talks Among Yourselves.
Rebel.
Yeah, and once again, huge shout out and thanks to everybody that's been giving us iTunes reviews. That's awesome. Slowly pulling it up, killing time. Doodle-doo-doo. Shout out to Hannibal Smith 63 and Quadfather MFT. Or actually, I already said these. Hold on. Zero Ambition and Kyle T-Brick 475. Thanks a lot, guys, for the podcast reviews on iTunes. That's awesome.
Definitely.
So I don't know. Do you guys Want to stick around while I do the business, if you will.
You're gonna do the business.
I'm gonna do the business.
You gonna do the business? All right.
Well, yeah. So anybody looking for the show, you can find it on iTunes or Stitcher. Give us a thumbs up and a 5-star rating if you do. We'd appreciate it. You can find us on Twitter at Geep and Gam. You can hit us up on Facebook. Just search Geep and Gam. And if you're looking for a live video, we do it every week on YouTube, or you can. The videos are always up there anytime at your convenience. If you want to see our ugly mugs. What else? Is that it?
That's it.
That's
Keep it
it.
short this week.
Yeah. It's always off the top of the head, so it's like,
Just search Geep and Gam.
yeah,
Or Geep and Gam podcast.
you'll find something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dave, Aaron, we never know how to end this, so hopefully you can help us with that. But,
I know exactly how we're gonna end this. We have 2 shots poured. I'm gonna raise the shot in your honor.
all right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a shot of Jameson for you guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Cause-
that, man. And we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, we'll see you in New York.
No, thank you for having us. It was actually a really good. This was an amazing, almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Very fun. Thanks, guys.
Like I said,
Oh,
thank you
yeah.
very much for having us.
Oh yeah, dude, it's always a blast, man. We got to get together again, and yeah, look forward to being
Absolutely.
on your show.
Yeah, I will contact you guys soon, and like I said, this was a lot of fun.
He'll tweet you.
Well, fine, maybe I won't then.
Yeah, and
I definitely will.
I'll be sure to get you those lists real soon.
For sure.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you very much, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Doodle-doo-doo.